What's up, y'all? Kofi Kingston here, and I would love to have a drink with Wrestling on the Rocks, depending on what that drink is, preferably non-alcoholic, you know?
How's it going? I'm Celtic Warrior Damon.
Soda.
And I would love to have a drink with Wrestling on the Rocks.
Maple syrup.
Fella.
I would never have a drink with Wrestling on the Rocks.
Welcome back to our first show. That's right, every show here at Wrestling on the Rocks is our first show because we can't figure it out. I am at Ref Marsh. We, as a show, are found on Twitter at WOTR The Show. Thank you guys for grabbing a stool and pouring a drink and hanging out with us. Kev, say what's up.
Make sure they're grabbing a bar stool. You gotta be specific.
I think
But what's up, guys?
Yeah. Just use tips of your fingers.
Turd holders. But anyways, what's up, guys? I'm Kevlar on the Rocks with an X on Twitter. Tweet at me. Or don't.
Getting them tweets. Tweets on tweets. I feel like I tweeted about you yesterday when I was about to. And just
Oh, yeah. You did. Something about Arizona sports.
Oh, that's what it was. One of the referees wanted a guy from a sport to go to a Phoenix team. And it was Brian Wynn, one of the WWE referees. And so I commented on it, to see if you would interact or think that's a good idea or not. And you probably haven't logged in or not.
Well, what's funny is I got the notification. I thought it was the usual, hey, tune in tomorrow for our show. So I was like, oh, okay. I didn't look at it.
You're all like, oh, he must be promoting the show again.
Yeah.
Idiot.
Ignore.
Kev, I've got, because I get the Slam Crate, and we have a new Slam Crate unboxing coming out this week. Just came in the other day. But because of the old Slam Crate being a year behind, that means that we are up to date. I have an Elimination Chamber glass I'm going to be drinking out of today. This
Does it say 2017 on it?
2019,
Yeah.
It was definitely 2019 Elimination Chamber. Man, I don't know what I should drink here. I'm thinking about proper 12. I think maybe I'll have a glass of this other one. So for Valentine's Day, producer lady got me this Irish whiskey here. It's Slane Triple Cast Irish whiskey. I'm gonna send you a picture of it after the show, Kev. This Irish whiskey, I thought it drinks like a Scotch, where it has like modes.
Oh, nice.
You know what I mean? So like, okay, there's an initial taste, and then there's like a flourishing, and then there's like an after. Like there's steps to this drink, just having it straight. So,
Nice.
I was super impressed.
How many
because you know
steps?
How many steps? It's gonna be 12 by the end of this bottle. But it's fantastic. It's really good. I mean, you know how much I like Scotch and Irish whiskeys, and I always think of them as two completely different drinks. This one I was all like, this Irish whiskey thinks it's a Scotch, and I'm okay with that.
Just in time in the chat.
Just in time comes to the chat. Cheers, just in time. Thank you, Kev. What's
What's up? Cheers. I'm just having a couple local brews from Rockavoy's. They're pretty good. Cream ales.
Ooh.
Yo, clean ale.
It's creamy.
Did we have news besides the signing stuff?
Yes. Big news.
Go ahead, hit it.
Biggest news all week. Lacey Evans is pregnant.
Well, we'll get there.
There's a room
Yeah.
in the oven.
Macy is pregnant. Yes, Macy.
Macy?
That's her actual name. Congratulations to.
I don't know Macy that way, and I didn't see Macy send out any tweets, but I did see a segment on Raw about Lacey, so that's what we're going to talk about. I don't know these people in real life.
Okay,
I
well.
thought this was real life.
I didn't see official announcements. I saw Liv Morgan send a tweet
Yeah,
and dirt sheets. And that's it.
that's true.
I didn't see anything from WWE.
Wait.
I didn't see anything from Lacey's account. I didn't see anybody saying, like, yeah, this is 100% legit. So, I don't know. The rumor is that it is.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't have anything else.
Yeah. So, let's. Are you anything else you want to talk about, dude? Anything else you wanted to? Did you watch Takeover?
No, I was just kidding. Yeah. I did not. I didn't get time to. I wanted to.
Okay. Didn't know if you had or not. We weren't gonna dive into it today. That's gonna be on our Thursday show, our Thursday night chaser for Wednesday night's wrestling. Because after Wednesday night wrestling, I need a fucking drink. So if you didn't watch Takeover,
Yes.
you might not know this. We're just gonna talk about this kind of briefly, just so I can get your take on it because I thought this was really interesting. Eli Drake showed up. His new name is L.A. Knight.
Wait, you got to do the.
L.A. Knight. Yeah, dummy. Yeah. The guy came out, cut a mean
What's funny-
on the pre-show. Go ahead.
I was gonna say when you said LA Knight, it reminded me of those '90s shoes, LA Gear and British Knights, and I'm like,
What was the L.A. Looks hair show?
yeah. But no, when you said LA Knights for whatever reason, I'm like the old shoe, and then I realized it's two old shoes combined, and here he is.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting. I wonder what they're gonna say it means or stands for or anything like that, or maybe they won't. But so he makes his debut on the pre-show, cuts a really dope promo. Promo so good, I would call that promo "Shoes of a Champion." Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Did you get a chance to see much of him?
Not really.
I couldn't remember if I said
I saw a little
his
bit.
promos here and there.
Yeah.
Either way, he signs with NXT. It's official. It's there. They even showed him signing a paper with William Regal, so you know it's legit. All contracts
Yeah.
signed on TV are
Nice.
legit. That's what I know about contracts. The only thing I understand about contracts is they're legit. Signed on TV.
Yeah, that's the only way to sign him.
Yeah, why would I do it? Why would...
I always think when they don't sign contracts on TV, there's a loophole, and somebody's gonna get out of it somehow.
Yeah, something's not right here. Something's fishy. When I get when I go in for jobs and stuff, and they make you sign a contract at the end of it, I'm like, where's the camera crew? What do you mean you're not projecting? What do you mean this isn't on TV?
I'm going on Facebook Live right now to make this official.
Present time in the chat says NXT do the right thing and give him his dummy button. He had an impact. He did have a button that he could press that just said dummy. It's good, man. But he didn't use any of that stuff in NWA, so it makes me think that maybe it's just something he's moved on from. I think that whatever he wants to do, the guy's incredible. Incredible talent, incredible star. He even made the comment when he came out, he goes, I'm here to inject a little bit of star power into this. This fed, as it were. So, without you seeing it, there's a lot that we can't talk about, which is totally fine. What I wanted to talk about, to see what you think about it, for people who are paying attention, Eli Drake was let go by Impact almost 2 years ago. And the first thing he did when he was let go, he had a non-compete. And we were at StarCast for Double or Nothing in Las Vegas when AEW was making a big debut show. Can other people sound? Can they hear me? Can you check my properties, make sure it's not the Yeti mic and that it's the... Justin, can you hear me in the chat?
Justin, can you hear me?
Hello? Is that better? Is it registering different?
Yeah, I mean, it was on default, but...
Okay, but default might not be this, especially if we were doing the other stuff. Sounds far away, fixed. All right.
Sorry.
That's why we check all that stuff before we go live.
But it was still...
Show number 1.
Right. That's why we test mics. It's just for a show. Guys, it's not a big deal. It's the first episode. And on the first episode, sometimes you can't hear anything for the first 20 minutes. It's totally fine.
It looks exactly
Can't
the
expect
same as unless you go to that one thing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Which is why we started testing mics differently early on when we discovered that mics were off for an entire 2 weeks before or prior. Remember? Serenity now. These people might not even know what I'm drinking now. Now I think about it.
all right, start over. Tell me
Yeah,
what
it's
you're
the first
drinking.
episode.
Welcome to Wrestling on the Rocks.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's see. Okay, so we were being picked up by the room. So all right. Well, okay. So here's the deal. For people who are paying attention, let's get back on track. The first episode always gets derailed. It's kind of a tradition of episode 1. Anyone who's had an episode 1 knows the first episode's a rough one to get through. But you get through it, and then the next one is equally bad. So, getting back on track, Eli Drake, L.A. Knight. Here's the deal. Anyone who's paying attention, let me talk to you. Yeah. Anyone who's been paying attention. He got let go by Impact almost 2 years ago. The first place he shows up during his non-compete was StarCast. I know this because I was there and I watched him walk in and went, holy shit, is that Eli Drake walking around here? He starts walking around and talking to a ton of people you see from AEW. You see him talking like the Young Bucks and stuff. He goes to the after party thing. He's seen mingling with all the EVPs of AEW. And everyone goes, oh shit, Eli's going to AEW. Then he pops up in NWA. NWA crumbles, becomes an internet federation. YouTube flatline. Much the same as us. We probably have the same viewership, to be honest. Anyways, Eli Drake does not go to AEW. Yeah. And we got the same number of belts. It's a dig because AEW has the NWA women's title. Let's see. So he doesn't go to AEW then, and he goes to NWA. Well, NWA crumbles, and he's like the number one talked about talent. People keep going like, what is he doing? He shows up on Prime Time, the David Marquez stuff that he was doing, and he doesn't show up there. Well, now Eli Drake shows up in NXT, signed. Eli Drake, after talking to everyone in AEW, didn't make a single appearance in AEW. He didn't show up on Dark. He didn't show up during the open challenge when Warhorse was getting his shot. You know what I mean? You had a lot of indie guys looking for paydays going through there just to be seen on TV for a minute. And Eli Drake did none of those things. I'll tell you this. I think Eli Drake is a safe bet. If he decided I'm going to bet on myself, I think I could be a huge star. And if they're not going to push me to the top, I don't think I'm going to go there right now. And I think that's safe. He is a remarkable star, I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the conversation that people aren't having is what's wrong with AEW's system? Because that's a legitimate thing going on here. Not only was Eli Drake signed to NXT, but the word is Taya Valkyrie was as well. Taya Valkyrie was the TNA Women's Champion for a long time. She's a main event player in the women's division. Why would AEW not try to scoop her up? And, you know, obviously there's the argument. Her husband is John Morrison. He's in WWE, so why would she not go to WWE? Yes, maybe, probably. But right now they're all filming in Florida, so I don't know. Maybe that was always the plan. We talked about it when he first went over there. Maybe Ty is soon to follow. Maybe that was always the plan. But it's still a conversation piece because not only was Ty signed over there, but Lacey Ryan, Priscilla Kelly, Elena Black, Millie McKenzie was signed today. Here's a lot of strong women's indie talent not even going over to AEW and going over to NXT. Some of these women, 3 of the ones I just listed, had many appearances on AEW Dark and still didn't sign over there. Something's wrong. I don't know if it's AEW just not courting them, not offering them enough. If it's purely a numbers deal, how much value are you putting into these stars who have star power versus what are you telling them they're worth?
Or
are
the
you
product.
undervaluing them?
Or the product itself.
Maybe, but I'm saying like I don't know what it is. It could be that the talent is looking at the product and saying, nope, that's not where I go to shine. It could be contracts. It could be the dollar. Other names that came up, Kev, and then I want to get your take on it. Let's see. Blake Christian, Harlem Bravado, Ben Carter, huge signee over NXT UK. He made an appearance on AEW, and everyone was tweeting Tony Khan nonstop, sign this guy, and they did not. MSK, just on NXT alone, the Rascals, showed up over there and won the Dusty Cup. Parker Boudreaux, Bronson Reich Steiner, the son of Rick Steiner, and Davey Boy Smith is apparently in conversation with them. The other thing is that Rick Steiner's son signing over to NXT officially, Rick Steiner didn't have like the best relationship with WWE. The Steiner brothers were only in there for a short period of time. They spent most of their career in WCW. Why would he feel a loyalty to WWE like some of these others might, right? This isn't like Rey Mysterio's kid coming over because Rey Mysterio always thought of WWE as his home. This is a dude whose dad did not have the best relationship there coming over. You had Mika Sakamura coming over to NXT UK. There's a lot of big name talents, a lot of big stars that are coming over to NXT and WWE that AEW is not scooping up? Are they failing in just not offering contracts? Are they trying too hard to court for too long? Are you using a lot of unsigned talent on your TV show to put over your other guys and not treating them like they're worth signing, and then they find another way out? I don't know any of the answers to any of that. Kev, this is just kind of what I've been speculating and thinking on. What do you think about any of this?
Well, I don't know. I don't care. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I just wonder if, because I'm trying to think off the top of my head and I can't right now because I'm having a brain fart, but I don't think anyone from AEW has successfully gone to WWE, right?
I think that the contracts for AEWs that were initially signed are only going to expire this coming up year. So we'll see.
Okay.
But almost all the women that they signed for the Dusty Cup were previously on AEW Dark. And
Yeah.
I think during this time that the WWE signed all those talents, the only person I saw AEW sign was Ryan Nemeth, Dolph Ziggler's brother. You know?
Yeah.
And it's like, so we haven't seen that part yet. No, Kev.
Yeah. Well, see, because I'm just wondering, especially like Eli Drake, LA Knight. I just, like you said, being on himself, I'm just wondering if he is, his dreams to be WWE. Most people growing up, WWE was it. WWE was the big time. And I just wonder if they think, hey, if I sign over there, I might not get a chance to go to WWE.
Oh, that's a good point. Nice mentality. I know that Eli Drake had previously signed to NXT and was in their system for a short period of time. I think he showed up on their NXT TV maybe once, maybe not at all, and was booted. So I know that there could have also been just the possibility of a form of bad blood. He spoke very negatively of his experience there for the most part, but also put a lot of that onto their previous trainer and not someone who's still currently there. So he's even said that, hey, my experience is different than what other people are experiencing now. I've heard him say in a number of interviews of, this is what I went through with that person. I think that person was an asshole. I don't think the system is broke. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, see, I just wonder if he looks at it as a failure in his life, and I don't know what kind of competitive person he is, naturally, if he thinks, hey, I need to right this wrong at least. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, that's cool too. I like that. I don't know. It was just a thing I was thinking about. I don't know that we're going to be able to dissect this and get the answer. I just thought that I like your addition in there, that it could just be flat out dream. Hey, I've always wanted to work for WWE. AEW just popped up, and yeah, that might be nice, but I have the chance to get a WWE logo on my paycheck. Why would I not just jump on that? And that could be a huge part of it.
And also, I mean, he could have just grown so much from when he was in before, like mature-wise and, really seeing other companies and how other companies work. I mean, that could have also played a factor.
Yeah, his ego can be completely reshaped. He could have had an ego like we've heard before, where it's like, if you don't got 5 minutes for me, then your whole system's broke. And now it could be, hey, I know I'm a star, and you just haven't seen it yet. Give me the chance, and I will prove it. Which is a whole other mentality with the same ultimate goal, right? You want to be on TV. You want to get that time. And if your attitude is you owe me TV time versus you won't regret give me TV time, those are two different mentalities. And he could have had both at different times. He could have been hard to work with at some point. Let's hit the chat real quick.
Well, and the other thing is, I wonder if...
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I was just wondering if some of this talent is looking at the longevity of it. They might not be seeing AEW as a long-term thing anymore.
Yeah, it's tough to say. Let's see. Justin says, it's almost come down to if you're no longer part of any of the companies working with AEW, either WWE or the Indies is the only place to go. What? If you're no longer part of any of the companies working with AEW... Oh, like if you're not part of Impact and NJPW, either WWE or the Indies are the only place to go. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Those are your options. But if it's like Impact lost the contract to MSK and they went to NXT, why What was not appealing? You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. I think something's broken here. You're either not courting big talent, you may be undervaluing big talent you have access to, or you're taking advantage of good talent and they're not just letting that slide forever. The fact that some of this talent had been on their AEW Dark program for a while, cool. Maybe they were getting a quick paycheck, or maybe they thought they were getting a chance and you just used them for your YouTube show. And they went, oh, this isn't going anywhere. They're just paying me for the YouTube thing. They won't sign me. But here's a contract guaranteed. So maybe working for AEW right now feels a lot like working on the indies anyways, because a lot of they're not using completely signed talent. Let's see. Splinter Fox says role model is here. Ding dong. Splinter Fox has taken the role model? Fuck, man. Well, he's been in here ding donging, but I didn't know he claimed himself to be role model.
That's it. Block him.
Mod. Let's see. Aaron in the chat saying turning AEW into an NXT farm club would be a power move. And I know that that's been on the mind of producer lady for quite some time. She said for a long time, what if AEW is in cahoots with WWE to farm people for NXT? But at the same time, you're seeing a lot of people leapfrog over AEW right now. Also saying that Bill DeMont chased away great talent, and the problem that Eli had was the trainer, not the place. Let's see. Splinter Fox says they give indie talent a chance on Dark. It does not mean they are signed. TK gives wrestlers a chance to shine to get the job at AEW or not. But they're not getting the job, is the point. That's what I'm saying, is he's using talent that is not getting the job. Is that giving you an opportunity or asking you to provide content for him, right? Thunder Rosa's their number one storyline for the women and is not signed. Is that giving her a chance, or is she getting a lot more than she was? I know she was in talks with NXT before. Is this really going to make the difference for her, or is she just biding her time until she's out of the NWA contract? Like, Allison Kay came over there and did a thing. Are you telling me that Allison Kay, who put on an incredible match with Thunder Rosa, was not good enough to sign that night? If they signed the good talent after they had a good match, I'd say, yeah, he's giving them a chance. It's a tryout. The three women I listed before, Priscilla Kelly, Elena Black, and Lacey Ryan, had all had like 3 or 4 matches on Dark. And if you're telling me you don't think they were good enough to sign, then you didn't watch the match. Because those 3 were the best ones in those matches. And NXT saw it, knew it, scooped them up. AEW didn't even try. And that's my problem, is that I'm saying there's 5 women on this list who recently signed with NXT that would have changed the face of the women's division in AEW, and right now they need that. So I'm not buying that he's giving them a chance and then signing them or not based off that. He's not signing them. They're going somewhere else, and that's what I'm saying is the problem. It's giving this illusion of that, it seems like.
See,
go ahead.
I was going to say, obviously we don't know if they're trying to sign them. They probably are. But I'm just wondering, thinking back of, the contracts and stuff like that AEW's first contracts are expiring. I just wonder if the money isn't there as much anymore. So they're waiting for some of these contracts to expire to free up like some salary cap, if you will, and then trying to sign some people. I'm like, hey, we can actually give you guys a legit contract, not, peanuts anymore.
And I wonder if that's part of it too, is although that people talk about AEW being the billion-dollar company or having $1 billion, I wonder if they're undercutting a lot of these talents when it comes to the signing. And maybe talent who would like to stay in AEW are just being offered so much more to go to NXT, and AEW saying, yeah, we're not going to do that. And so they're going there too. And that's what I mean. It's like, This is information we don't have. And it's kind of the first thing I said. Mm-hmm. Could it really just come down to dollars and cents of NXT's offering them more money and AEW is not trying to match it? And if that's the case, are they making a mess up there? Should they be trying to match some of these contracts? I think with a case like some of them, probably. Some of them, maybe not.
Especially the women's division. To me, the AEW women's division is just terrible. And like you said, most of their good talent's not even AEW talent.
Yeah. Their biggest storyline in the women's division right now is Thunder Rosa versus Britt Baker. Who's the title holder, you ask? Yep.
The AEW title holder? I have no idea.
Right? No one does. Aaron says, if you have Eli Drake's mic ability and have that body, Vince loves your ceiling is higher at WWE. Which is possible too. you know. But I mean, I think that we've even seen it. There's a little bit of a fallacy there in just looking at the world title picture now, or even a year ago. I mean, AJ Styles was their longest reigning title for a long time, and he is not a Vince guy. That we would say, from our perspective, is a typical Vince guy.
A
So I don't think it's
perceived
an
Vince
absolute.
guy.
Yeah, but I also think that Eli Drake has, dude, I don't see any flaws in his game. I don't see how you're a company who has the opportunity to sign Eli, and you don't just throw whatever he needs at him. Get that guy a car if that's what he wants. Like, that dude's so good. It's crazy to me. I'm telling you, man, the first time I saw him, I was all like, oh, shit, I can't miss NWA anymore. Because I didn't watch them all in Impact.
Yeah.
I didn't. But when the first time I saw him come out in NWA, I was like, okay, this is the new show. I'm not missing this show. He was the first one to make me think this is it. And then you had Eddie Kingston go over there. And then you had Ricky Starks show up. And I was like, this is a hell of a group of people. James Storm. Nick Aldis. Like, you're just like, this is some incredible talent over here. And how are these people not signed? And they've all left NWA. So that's why I call it a crumbled faction.
And I have my fingers crossed because I also want to see James Storm in WWE because we know he's like so good. I just really have my fingers crossed.
I know, man. I want James Storm in WWE so bad. We'll see. We'll see.
Is that a dream of yours?
Yeah. A drinking dream. He's one of my drinking buddies. Spoon Fox accused me of hating Impact. I mean, I don't like their product, but I like most of their talent. Some of them follow us. James Storm did not try and not get it. He tried, and they went. He was supposed to sign. He was supposed to show up at the WrestleMania after Raw. He talked about it in an interview, and COVID put a halt on all of their things. So right now, last he said is they're trying to find the right time to bring him in now. He wants to go there. He was ready to sign. They had a debut date and everything, and then COVID hit, and it that's the whole thing. Was he a Heyman signing? I don't know.
You said Heyman was the one to tell him.
Oh, maybe. Yeah.
Then he's no longer in creative. So.
Yeah, and if Heyman's not pulling the strings like he was. But it wasn't a matter of these guys not wanting to go there. It was a matter of COVID and Heyman changing position that changed a lot of that. But I don't know.
Because now Roman's pulling the strings.
That's right. It's Roman now. It's Roman's show. If Roman doesn't want you, it's not happening. All I'm saying is something's not right if all these massive stars are coming over to NXT right now when AEW's is that close to signing them. Also, I was going to say, I don't think there's a war at all anymore, dude. The idea that there's a ratings competition at all, I think was completely thrown out the window when NXT debuted Eli Drake on their TakeOver pre-show. Because a signing like Eli Drake is so newsworthy, you put that on your weekly if you're trying to pop a rating. Because that's a change your channel moment.
Yeah.
If Eli Drake walks out with a microphone, you've got people saying, no, come back to AEW later. You got to check out NXT. Eli Drake's got a microphone. What's going to happen? The fact they did it on a pre-show to a takeover lets me know that they are paying no mind to what any other company is doing. They are not fighting for ratings. They are just doing whatever it is that they do, and just hoping you're along for the ride is what it looks like. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
L.A. Knight. Twitter Fox has accused me of drooling over previous wrestlers once they signed with WWE. If you've listened to any previous episode 1, I went to the NWA tapings. We never missed an episode. We actually had a happy hour watch along every single week with NWA.
Yeah.
We were drooling over James Storm and Eli Drake.
NWA times,
All
yeah.
the whole
Once they
NWA
started.
talent. Yeah.
So get your facts straight, Splinter.
Thunder Rosa.
Yeah, no, we're drooling now because we're excited we get to see more of them, and we feel confident they're going to get a nice platform. That's what it is.
Yeah, we hate when
Them too.
talent we love just disappears. That's not what we want to see. We actually want to see talent elevated.
Yeah.
And on TV, not YouTube shows, but on TV.
Oh yeah, Aaron brings up a good point. He would have been perfect Royal Rumble. Pop that too. MSK, yeah, I didn't watch any of their matches,
Yep.
so I didn't hate on them before. I just never said anything about them. I didn't know them.
Yeah.
That's all. If you don't see him, you don't know him.
Yeah, but once you see and you,
That's why nobody knows the AEW Women's Champion. If you don't see him,
See-
you don't know him.
that's so sad.
Exactly.
No.
See, I think with
Alright.
LA Knight it's going to be hard calling him that, but I think he would have been a perfect Rumble pop.
Mhm.
Because then it's like, oh shit, what show is he on? And then all of a sudden he's like, hey, I'm on NXT. Cool.
Yeah. No, I think it'd have been big. Apparently, Carlito said on an interview that he just came in for a one-shot for that Royal Rumble and that Raw, that he's not currently signed right now. So I wonder what happens with him. We'll see. I wouldn't be shocked if AEW tried to
That's
grab
terrible.
Carlito.
I like that he's back.
I know. I was excited. I thought it was cool.
Yeah.
But we'll see what happens with him, because he showed up and showed that he is not behind. That I think he was looking as good as he ever has.
I was going to say, I said it several times on the watch along how good he looked, because, he looked better now than he did before. He's like, this isn't supposed to happen. You're supposed to regress.
Yeah.
Not 8 years later, come out looking better.
Yeah, looking better in the ring and being crisper in the ring. You're like, oh, shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is incredible. So,
And I was never a
somewhere.
Carlito fan before.
Yeah.
And seeing him here, I was like, all right, cool, let's do this. Let's go with it, and it sucks if he's just a one-off. The show MVP was allegedly a one-off, so let's put Carlito in the Hurt business.
Someone said that. Who was it? Someone, it was the Cheap Heat podcast. They had mentioned that to see Carlito take over for Cedric Alexander when he gets booted out, because then you'd have the Hurt business being a whole bunch of guys who were there like 10 years ago who look better than ever, kicking asses. And I was like, that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah. Sucks that he can't spit in people's faces with his apple because of COVID.
He just comes out with applesauce on a spoon and flicks it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Marco Diamond's in the chat. We haven't seen him before, I don't think. Cheers to Marco Diamond. Thanks for coming through.
Cheers.
He says that asking if
It's in
we've ever
your
seen
glass.
Viva Wrestling. It's an Italian federation on YouTube and Fight TV. I have not. I haven't even heard of it. I know Kev is not.
I feel like I'm the only one that watches anything international, though.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I watched Wrestle Kingdom. I was checking that out. But let's see. Aaron says Carlito was jacked that the protein infused apples was the secret, I believe. Yeah, Carlito's been wrestling in Puerto Rico, but he's also been wrestling in America in small things. But I do want to see. I want to see him get a big payday, man. I feel like that dude deserves it. If he ends up as coach somewhere, if he ends up a producer somewhere, if he does like you said with MVP, he was supposed to just be there one shot, and then he was going to sign a producer contract, and he was supposed to just agent matches, and then everything kind of happened the way that it did, and now he's like not doing just that. I wouldn't be upset at all if something similar happened with Carlito. Well,
Dude, what if Carlito joins the Knights of the Lone Wolf?
that would be weird. Oh no, how that would
kinda
work,
would be.
but I'm okay with it. I would.
I just
But
want
he should be
Carlito
like the
somewhere.
baby face of it. As Baron's walking out, Carlito's spitting apples on the back of Baron Corbin's head, and pretending like he didn't do it on purpose. What? I didn't know.
Pointing at the camera guy? It was him.
Yeah, could have been anybody, man. Everyone out here's got apples.
Yeah.
Kev, do you want to get into SmackDown?
What's up?
Do you want to talk about SmackDown?
If we must. I'm having fun doing this.
Yeah, I know. I'm not hating it. To be honest. Let me see. SmackDown opened up with Roman Reigns. Ban it. Man, I've been waiting so long for him to get into music, though. Yeah, surprise.
I know.
I want him to have new music so bad. I feel like everything's there and then that music. But then again, it's probably good the music annoys me,
But
right?
see, maybe.
I'm getting
But you
worried.
would think he would, you would think with him being, the head of the table and, the family, this and that, you would think it'd be more Samoan-ish now.
Yeah. You know what he should come out to? The original Rocky Maivia music.
I don't remember it. It's a really good
It was-
thing I don't remember it.
Yeah, that's probably true. If I remember correctly, it was very similar to Ultimate Warrior, but a little more happy-go-lucky sounding. Kind of a lot of like, bup.
Nice.
Be so good, dude. So good. Let's see. So Roman comes out. He cuts a promo with Adam Pearce, Paul Heyman, Jey Uso, as he does. Dude, Roman's heat with Adam Pearce is so close to Bayley and Michael Cole. I want to see these moments where Roman just corners Adam Pearce and white knuckles and yells at him or whispers quietly these horrible threats. I want to see that same exact thing in the Michael Cole and Bayley storyline. I'm going to be honest. I did like Roman said in the promo, he's going to beat Edge so bad he's going to have to go back onto a Legends contract and just be an ambassador for the company. I was like, oof, Jesus.
Yeah.
So good. But then they set up the Elimination Chamber, dude. The winner of the match, tell me what you think about this. The winner of the Elimination Chamber match for SmackDown gets to face Roman on the same night. It sounds like immediately thereafter for the title.
Yeah.
Which makes the feeling of the Elimination Chamber match to me personally a little deflated. I'm like, well, it's
Big
a number
time.
one, right? Am I the only one just feeling like, well, who the fuck do I
No.
want to see get his ass beat for fucking 2 hours? But before you
Yeah,
tell me what you
it's-
think about this match, well, let's do real quick. I'm going to just recap a little bit more. Jay and Kevin Owens were immediately put into the match. Paul was saying, what are you going to do, fire Roman Reigns? He goes, this close to WrestleMania. And then he goes, WrestleMania, if I'm not mistaken, that without Roman this past year was the lowest in attendance of all time for a WrestleMania. So good. So good. He's right. This WrestleMania had the least number of fans of
Yeah.
all time.
But the higher
what do you-
viewership, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
100%.
I I was excited at first when Pierce said that it was going to be for the Universal title. You know, exactly what they did on Raw, do it on SmackDown. Cool, you know, let's do this. Then they kind of backed out of it, and I was like, ugh. What's funny is I guess I wasn't paying close enough attention, but I didn't realize it until I watched Raw that Roman's facing him the same night.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until I watched Raw that I was like, oh, really? And then I like rewound it, listened to it again, and I was like, oh, that sucks. And then, like you said, it all made the Elimination Chamber, to me, worthless. Somebody's going to go in there, you know, get their ass kicked, kick some ass, barely win, and then Roman's going to just walk in. It's going to be an old Roman match. Just a quick Superman punch, maybe a spear, and it's over.
Show up and win. You got to sell that T-shirt, man.
Yeah.
They made him.
Yeah.
That's how he won the title to begin with. He just showed up and win.
Yeah.
Justin said supposedly the new music was coming soon.
Oh.
Thinks he might debut it at WrestleMania, which would be cool. And it should had a male and female
Nice.
match. I'm not sure what in regards to. I
The
mean, I
Elimination
was
Chamber.
hoping
I'm a
they
little disappointed that I'm just a little disappointed that there's not a women's Elimination Chamber match.
that's
I
true.
think that's what he's referring to.
That's true. I do think that, you know, there's no reason to not do some sort of women's tag elimination or even put up Sasha's title in the Elimination Chamber match. At this
Put up
point, she's had
Asuka.
how
She's
many?
not doing anything.
What do you mean? Asuka was supposed to have a match. She was supposed to be in the match against Lacey. We'll cover that in a bit. As
No,
of
I know, but-
SmackDown,
yeah, I'm just saying.
Asuka was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. But I agree. The fact there's no women's Elimination Chamber match is kind of a bummer. But then again, last year's was not fun to watch. So Shayna just beating everybody as we sat there and stared at it forever. Let's
Dude, we were up
see.
in Phoenix and we were both just pissed off. We were sitting in our hotel room. We were like, what the fuck's this shit? God damn it.
Yeah.
Gave me a
Come
drink.
on.
The bar was closed, I think. We were pissed off.
Yeah. No good. No good. So I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah.
But I think that, like, I agree with Splinter. It works because Roman's pulling some heel shit, but, like,
Yeah.
it makes the Elimination Chamber match seem less than to me. If you're fighting for a number one contender spot and then you're fighting for it again afterwards, this is like a super gauntlet match. This is a hybrid gauntlet match where it's like you have to go through a 6-man Elimination Chamber match and then the champion at the end. It feels like trying to get through Super Mario with one life, you know?
It's possible.
It's possible. It's possible. I don't see anybody who's in the Elimination Chamber match who seems like that type. Kevin Owens, maybe. But here's the deal. I feel like fuck, I don't see how you have the match after the Elimination Chamber match and not have that person win the title. Because what the fuck do you do next? You know what I mean? Like, if you honestly just have, like, a fucking Baron Corbin win the match, and then Roman kicks the shit out of him, and then that's it, we're moving on to our next program of Edge and Roman. Like, what the fuck was all that for? You know what I mean?
What if Jay wins it, and then Jimmy comes out and helps him beat Roman? This is a little switcheroo. Ooh, that'd be good.
That's what I mean. But then it's whoever wins the chamber match, to me, has to win that title, or none of this makes sense to me as of right now. It doesn't mean we can't get a steaming, heaping pile of crow to eat later, where it suddenly all makes sense. But as of right now, I don't understand the sense of a 6-man elimination chamber match followed up immediately by your most dominant champion of all time without that person winning. That person has to win, because, like, what the fuck?
But who? Like you said.
Do you think? Well, no, because
Who?
that's what I mean. So by the end of the night, we know that it's Sammy, Baron Corbin, Cesaro, Daniel Bryan, Jey Uso, and Kevin Owens.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, man. I don't know. It really dampened it to me, because I thought, oh, this is going to be crazy cool to see Roman be a dick to everybody. But now it's like, no, he's just going to go out there and beat up the guy who's the most beat up.
What if this would be some great heel shit? Jay wins, and finger poke happens, and he just lays down and Roman wins.
I mean, you're pretty good. That is one of the greatest wrestling moments of all time.
Can you imagine the heel shit that would happen? Like, everyone would hate Roman and Jay for that.
I mean, people would talk. You'd get people talking for a good 20, 30 years. That much I can say with certainty.
Yeah.
Splinter Fox is upset, saying he wants that Shayna again. I do want a murderous Shayna back, but I don't want to watch that Elimination Chamber again. It was a boring watch. It doesn't mean I don't want her back murdering.
Nope.
I agree. My biggest problem with Shayna Baszler right now is she is not a murderer. And we'll talk about that when we get to Raw, because she had quite the competitive matchup against one Lana. I was not thrilled by that fact.
She's
but
third wheel in that
I know.
tag team.
God. So I agree. I want that Shayna back, but I don't want to watch that match back. Let's see. We all know it's going to be Owens, and that will be the end of the storyline, but it wouldn't, right? So if Kevin Owens wins the Elimination Chamber and then gets his ass kicked by Roman, we're right back where we started. We're right back where we were before this match, where Kevin Owens keeps having all the cards stacked against him, and he barely can't get it done. So that's what I mean. If it is Kevin Owens, he needs to win this one. Right? And maybe Sammy helps him. I don't know.
That would be cool.
It'd be dope. I would love it. But I don't know. And
We need a Sammy KO.
Yeah, I'm ready for them to be back in storyline together. But I don't know. If it is Kevin Owens, he does need to win the title that night, I think, because then we're still here dragging it on. And I don't mind Roman and Kevin Owens having matches over and over again, because they're fucking great every time. But if he loses again, it's going to start getting some real Ciampa Gargano vibes, where you're like, why the fuck am I watching anymore? Gargano can't get the job done. And here I am, years later, still not giving a shit about Gargano because he couldn't get the job done against Ciampa ever. Watching someone lose to the same person over and over again does nothing for me in that way. You know what I mean? Even Sammy got the win over Braun Strowman once.
Yeah. But then we can have Sammy's document camera crew follow KO around now too,
which would be good. Are you sending me stuff? And so, like, I don't want to be reading this stuff.
Me? No.
No, she's sending me stuff on Twitter. Is it stuff you want me to talk about on the show? Okay. Because you can also turn over and tell me what's up. We just were. Let's see. You may as well have Roman. I do agree with Aaron. Having Roman on the outside of the chamber waiting, I think, would be good because that could be a whole other aspect of the story. But at the same time, without the win, I just don't see it, man. Let's see. Y'all wanted Brock back with this Brock 2.0, but he shows up every night and wins. Yeah, I don't have a problem with that. I'm saying I have a problem. How do I be invested in the Elimination Chamber match? I like Roman. I don't have a problem with the Roman stuff. I don't see a person in that chamber match. I don't see a reason to be invested in this chamber match if you know the end goal. If they did a Brock chamber match where at the end Brock goes after him, I'm not rooting for Kofi to win that one. I'm not invested in that Elimination Chamber. And if Daniel Bryan wins it, you go, oh, great. Now I get to watch Brock Lesnar beat the shit out of him real quick. That's what I'm saying is it's not a question of whether or not I think the Roman character is good or bad or anything like that. It's a matter of how do I be invested in this Elimination Chamber match knowing that immediately after this person is set up to lose in every possible way. Like, it's hard to get invested in. Also, he would love the finger poke of doom too. Let's see. KO gets thrown off the chamber and won't be back till after Mania. It can happen, and he would love it. Let's see. You won't be invested because that match is
Do you think
Roman?
Do you think Roman and Paul are going to be on commentary during the match?
They should be.
I mean, I would like it.
Because there's probably not enough space on the outside of the ring for them to be walking around it, right?
Unless he
They were
sits
just
up,
walking back and forth.
just a chair. Sit
On the ramp?
Yeah.
Yeah, that could be cool. I could be down with that. They sat there. I do think they should be out there for the match. It would add a whole other dynamic to the match. It could be really interesting. But yeah, I think it's difficult to figure out how I'm supposed to be invested in this Elimination Chamber match if I know that immediately after you're going to get the best Roman that we've ever had waiting, literally, immediately. So that's my concern is they're going to have to do a lot to make me care. And that's why I'm saying I think that the person who wins it has got to win that title. Otherwise, you go, okay, so that was a lot of excitement for nothing. It's going to feel a lot like a wet fart.
Yes. Unless do you think the winner is hurt and can't compete in the match? That's what we get at Mania.
Oh, but the card's subject to change. If they get hurt, then Adam Pearce comes out and has the match for him.
Yeah, and wins it.
Yeah, and then Adam Pearce wins it, and we're gold. And then we did it.
Yeah, we did it.
No. Okay, that's good then. No, we did it. We did it. All right, well, that's just what I was wondering about it. I do think SmackDown overall was really good, dude. Sami Zayn promo that he cut on his way. Was there anything else you want to talk about that Roman stuff?
No, I'm good. Let's go to Sami.
Sami was cutting that promo on the way to the ring. He was tagging up with Baron Corbin against Rey Mysterio and his son, Dominic. So, I mean, Sami Zayn is just so good. And then also the way Paul Heyman was like poking his head between Roman and Adam Pearce, whispering to Roman and stuff. Everyone on this show with their mic skills is just so good, man.
And they're starting to put out a little bit of the documentary.
Yeah, a little clip. Sami Zayn leaked a clip from some of the recordings that his team has been getting. It was so good. It was after this match. He's in the back and he was saying something and complaining. Like he yelled something towards Ray and Dominic, and Ray turned around and goes, "Do you want to settle this now, man?" He goes, and then it's like, "Come over here then." Like Sammy was all running away. He's like, "Dude, what is wrong with you?" He's like, "You're so hyper aggressive right now." He's like, "What is your problem? What is that?" Like he was all upset. So good. Let me see. Aaron thinks someone's gonna run in and knock out Roman before the match. That could be cool. I hope it's Bad Bunny. That guy's good.
Love him.
Yeah. Let's see. Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn will not be on Saturday Night Live. Well, we're talking about Sami Zayn now. They did win. Sammy got the pin with Corbin. Man, I loved that team. Corbin and Sammy working together. So good. Dominic nearly crushed his face on the table. Did you see that?
Yeah.
That was rough, dude.
Was
I
it
watched that. Yeah.
I was thinking he was a couple inches away from ending his career.
I thought that too. I was like, that was fucking close. I watched it back a dozen times, and watching it, I think that right before he hits, it looks to me like Sammy's got his left arm under Dominic, and it looked like Sammy kind of stood up and pushed his arm up to give Dominic an extra couple inches of clearance just to try anything. And I can't tell if it did a lot or not, but you could kind of see Sammy going down, and then you see him kind of standing back up for a second before falling down. And I was like, I think Sammy was trying to be all like, shit. Trying to save that dude's life. I don't know if it made any difference or not, but it looked to me like Sammy was aware of it, trying what he could. So kudos to both of them for getting through that. But yeah, I thought that too. I was like, oh my God. And then when
it seems to me that the announce table is a lot. Yeah. It seems to me that the announcer's table is a lot closer to the ring and the Thunderdome for whatever reason. I don't know if it's just the visual, difference without fans being there, but for whatever reason, to me, it seems like it's a lot closer.
I feel like, yeah, I get the same feeling. But again, I guess neither one of us can really know, because why wouldn't they have built the whole thing around the same dimensions they had before, unless they're like, hey, we can bring it together for screen's sake? Because I could see that if they needed to bring it in so you have less screens needed, because the further out it all goes, right, the more screens they need. So
yeah,
I can see that too.
They can include the announcer table and the ring in one shot or one tighter shot. But I don't know, for whatever reason, like I said, it just seems a lot closer. And it's like, I've noticed it a couple times where I think Charlotte last week, it looked like she almost killed herself too.
Yeah, no, 100%. Spinner Fox says he thinks it's closer as well. And saying it does make sense because it's baseball arena. I think it has to do with the screens. I think that if you had it spaced out more, I think if they're like, hey, if we bring it in a foot, we can have a dozen less of these screens, which is good because they're fucking expensive. That was like a multi-million-dollar thing they put together, so.
And it saves money on the electric bill.
And yeah, it's that fucking electric bill that'll get you. Let's see. The match I thought was awesome otherwise. Let's see. The other Elimination Chamber qualifying match we had was Cesaro and Daniel Bryan against Robert Roode and Dolph Ziggler. That kind of dissolved into a bunch of stuff. Let's see, though. Big E defended his title against Shinsuke, and prior to that match, Big E came and did a promo. Apollo interrupts him, comes out, they get face-to-face, and Big E gets real serious. They are doing such a great job of talking just off mic. It's so good, where you can hear him. Yeah. I was also thinking this. I think in moments like this, where Big E's getting real serious and telling Apollo, we're done, and just taking a serious look, I think that the reason it works so well is because he still remains so goofy at other times. You know what I mean? So when you see him, so then what comes out is he's super goofy, and he makes his joke. He makes his Tom Brady joke. He was wobbly. Tom was wobbly, yeah. And you're like, okay.
Oh, Tom was fucked up. He had too much on the rocks during the boat parade.
Tom Brady, definitely fan of the show, friend of the show. He was definitely watching us when he was drinking.
And
so,
did you hear that he was drinking avocado tequila, I think it was? Or avocado vodka?
No.
But anyway.
No, I didn't.
I was just like, ugh.
Like, that sounds bad for a margarita.
Yeah. But anyway, back to Big E.
Yeah. Oh, and this real quick. He said the announce table should be moved to, Splinter Fox says, taken away from the ring and be ringside only in the pay-per-views. I'd be down with that too. Like the way they used to do it with Raw, where it was up on the top. That didn't bother me. Never bothered me. Mm-hmm. I wonder if also part of it was just for the noise. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot more to it than we think. I mean, the whole Bayley and Cole thing only took off because Bayley could hear everything Michael Cole was saying from the ring. But then again, when they first started Raw, they had him up at the top too, and they were still doing it.
But I also liked how they had it on camera side first. I think it's SmackDown, right?
Yeah.
And I like that.
That's true. They've moved it around a few times. Yeah. I guess I have liked most versions of it that they've tried, and they still keep going back to this one, so I don't know. Mm-hmm. Big E and Apollo Crews have both been fantastic. Justin says, yep, Shin vs. Big E. Got to go back and watch that match. Other than the Bayley match was great. Yeah, I mean, the Bayley match was really good. But, Shinsuke and Big E was good. Just so you know, Splinter Fox, I don't know if this will sway you or not. Apollo does get involved, so we're not done with the Apollo story. But what I was saying was that when you have Big E come out and be goofy and jokey, when he turns that off and becomes more serious, it feels a lot like, oh shit, just got real. Big E is more of a performer type and not a serious type. So when he gets serious, it feels way serious. Where I think that if he was serious like that all the time, people would say like he's just playing wrestler maybe. You know what I mean? Like, I think the goofiness highlights the seriousness. Go ahead, Kev.
Yes. I think it's I don't know how to, phrase it or put a term to it, but it's like when in parenting, when the parent that normally doesn't yell all of a sudden yells and gets pissed off, the kids all of a sudden they're like, oh shit, like we fucked up right now. And I think that's the way it felt with Big E getting serious with Apollo, where he was just like, we're done, stop, and it was like, oh, he's extra serious,
Yeah, you upset Big E, something's wrong, you've done something wrong. 100%. So I think it worked. I think it was great. I think it was awesome. I thought the match was good. I don't know how I feel about this Big E Apollo thing going on for too long, though, because Apollo Crews is looking like a pretty serious jobber at this point. Like, he started to build up credibility again when he got the U.S. title back. Then he got wrapped up with all the Hurt Business stuff. And obviously it's the Hurt Business, so they just beat the shit out of him. And now he comes back to prove himself with this Intercontinental title thing. And he couldn't get the job done with Sami Zayn. He can't get it done with Big E. And at this point, it's like, you have to shift him. Because, I mean, what are you building towards? For Apollo to eventually get the win? And then what? Yeah. Big E just says, I don't want the Intercontinental anyways. I'm going for the world. Maybe. But it feels a little weird. Feels a little sloppy. Getting there. Go ahead, Kev.
Yeah, I was just going to say the same thing where good thing WWE wins and losses don't matter, because Apollo definitely has a losing streak to him right now.
He does.
And, I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel bad for them with the title, and now they're just they're like, all right, you had your run, we're done. Job for Big E, and then, you're going to be nothing again.
Yeah, but
that's
it
the way
also
it feels like, and I don't want to see that.
Yeah, that's true. But I guess it's also tough, right? Because it feels like Big E should be going for bigger titles, but he's on SmackDown. What, is he really going to face off against Roman over and over again? Like, we don't want to see Big E just getting his ass kicked by Roman. It's a tough... I would say SmackDown is a tough roster to be on and feel like everyone's being used the way that you want, just because the talent level there is so high. Yeah. You know what I mean? If your jobbers are Apollo Crews, that talent level is high. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. But see, I'm also, just going back to the whole Roman thing. I think, card subject change type of thing. I think if Big E was in the Elimination Chamber, it would be believable that he could beat Roman after surviving the Elimination Chamber.
Yes. Yes, he would be somebody you'd say could do that.
Yeah, because the other guys, Roman's a lot bigger than all of them, and his talent level as of right now is a lot bigger than all of them. Where if you throw a Big E in there, it's like, okay, he might have a shot, but I doubt they're going to change the card. And who would you take out?
Yeah. I mean, I guess the only person in that match who's got the kind of story that goes with that is Daniel Bryan, because of like WrestleMania 30, where he had to beat Triple H and then be in the triple threat and then got the win over Batista and Orton. Like, that's a dude who can go for hours and get it done. So that's semi-believable. And he did really good against Brock. But I don't know. It's tough. It's tough. I mean, I hope they get me yelling and screaming. They have in the past. Let's see. Sonar Fox does say, remember when the IC title meant something more? Like once you lost that title, you were shot to the top card. I do, but if you remember, during those times, the people who were like, for one, Stone Cold never lost the title. He literally said, I'm done with this title, threw it at The Rock and said, you can have it. I've got bigger fish to fry, and walked right past The Rock and started talking to the champion, who I believe was Shawn.
Triple H, right?
No, I don't think it was Triple H at that point, was it? Maybe it was
No,
Triple
yeah,
H.
it probably wasn't.
That might have
Was it
been
Brett?
Brett at the time, maybe.
I don't know.
No, it was Shawn. It was Shawn because that's what led into the Shawn Austin Mike Tyson thing. But
Tyson, yeah.
yeah, but the story's already usually built with them in the world title picture once they're in the IC title picture, and then it becomes like, how do we get rid of that title without taking the shine off the rocket ship? They're not doing that. You know what I mean? So you don't see Big E talking about Roman Reigns. You see Big E, and I'm not saying that Big E lost it. Who did he take it off of? Sammy? You didn't see Sammy talking about Roman or how we should be able to defeat Roman. It seems like that these people are really happy in the spot that they're in to a degree and working that spot. But guys like Austin and even The Rock, when they were with the Intercontinental title, they would walk around with it saying, like, this is my ticket to the world title. Well, right now, they keep them in separate ways, which is kind of weird. So I agree that I'd like to see more of that stuff back. Sort of like what I was saying with Kevin Owens and Roman. The only reason that it feels like it's going on forever is because they're giving us the matches so fast. I talked about it. I don't remember if that was you last week or not, but like,
yeah,
it used to be. I mean, even just to take it back to Austin and even McMahon, it was 1 year before they even touched, and even then, Austin had his hand literally tied behind his back. Like, it was about making you want the match for a long period of time, where now it's about explaining why we're in this match and then trying to rectify the DQs that happen along the way or keeping the card stacked against them, where it's like the story used to drive for a year before you'd get a match, 6 months, a year. Now it's all like, okay, well, let's tell the story to get to this pay-per-view, and then we have every other pay-per-view in between. Maybe it's just part of the issue of having so many pay-per-views. I don't know. I mean, they're good, but good matches. Let's see. Seth Rollins made it back.
Yep.
He's back. I really liked. So he comes out in an all leather suit with a leather tie. I'm sure he had leather underwear. And people were literally online being like, oh my God, it's happening. He's turning face, because he came out. He was talking about his kid. I'm like, he's in all leather. When was the last time a face cut a promo in all leather? That's a heel shit. No one buys a leather tie if you're not evil.
I noticed that leather tie. I was like, oh, that thing is horrendous.
Yes. Disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. And then he started getting all heelish, and people were all like, oh man, they really got me with the burn it down thing. And I was like, what? He even came out with a graphic that said embrace the move or embrace the vision. It's heel shit. What are you talking about? I don't understand how people were really worked on that one. Although I was liking it, I was feeling it where the promo was going. I was like, oh, he's hinting at good stuff. And then he's all like, but embrace the vision, bitches. And everyone leaves. Cesaro stays, and Cesaro's all like, you've gone wacky. You're a loon. And then Seth Rollins breaks his leg. Breaks it right in half. Kev, what do you think about this?
There's the card subject to change. Seth Rollins is in the Elimination Chamber. Cesaro's out. I liked it. I thought Seth was good. I'm glad he wasn't turning face. Like, Seth Rollins' face is no good.
It doesn't work.
It's like Roman face. Keep him heel. It's good that way. It's just right. But yeah, I like that, you know, he looks at Cesaro. You understand. I knew you would get it. And then Cesaro just walks away, and Seth gets pissed and attacks him. And
yeah, I
liked it. It's right where it needs to be. I'm just glad it wasn't Mysterio and it was Cesaro.
He just fucking thumbs his eyeball.
You see it now.
Yeah, embrace the vision as he rips out eyeballs. Dude, I hope the embrace the vision gimmick is more about eyeballs than it's ever been before. I hope he strictly has eyeball matches now moving forward. You embrace the vision or you don't get vision. You know what I mean? Vision is 2020.
Oh, that was last year.
Yeah. That would be good. Let's see. I mean, I'm loving it. I dig it. I like the whole thing. I do think that you're onto something with the card subject to change. I do think that the roster we have inside the Elimination Chamber is not who will be in the match come Sunday. I do think something will happen. I think somebody will be removed, and I do think that it's possible Seth Rollins ends up in that match. I did think
Well,
that.
and when they were saying Seth was returning, I thought, okay, it's Seth and Roman at Mania. Cool, let's go. Let's do it. How do we get there?
Right. Yeah.
And he just kind of talked and left and attacked Cesaro.
Yeah, but it could work. It could get there. I mean, I think Seth could believably win the Elimination Chamber and maybe even beat Roman. I think people would believe he's got Roman's number.
But even if he
You know?
doesn't, like, how great would it be to see Roman, Roman beat Seth, and then Seth like, all right, I want a fair shot, me and you, brother. Well, he wouldn't say brother. What did they call each other in the Shield?
I don't know. Love bugs?
Yeah.
Is that not it?
You and me, love bug.
Let's see.
Maybe they were
Or it'd be
brothers.
good if
Sorry.
Roman beats the shit out of him, and as he gets up and leaves, Seth like sits himself up in the corner and just starts laughing, just laughing hysterically. Like some real evil Daniel Bryan shit. Like after he got beat by Brock, like weird, creepy stuff where Roman's like, "The fuck is wrong with him?" That'd be cool. Let's see. Aaron likes the leather.
Yeah, you
Fox
do.
says he's. Yeah, I mean he always has. Fabtina doesn't like or likes that he's not a face. Doesn't like his face, I guess. Spinner Fox says that he's not fond of Seth being back on this one, which that's going to happen. I mean, I'm still not comfortable with Charlotte being back. Sometimes I think they do come back a little soon. Let's see. Aaron says Cesaro almost got hurt. He thought he rolled his ankle. Do you really want a Sethless Mania? Triple H needs a retirement match. Triple H is supposed to have his retirement match against Kevin Owens. I booked it. It's on my YouTube. Check it out.
This is supposed to have been happening for years.
Yeah, I've been booking it every year for 6 years. It's going to happen. They have to hear me. Well, Bruce Pritchard's a fan of the show, I think.
I think.
Yeah, I suspect.
I think a lot of WWE creatives are fans of the show.
Oh, yeah. They just like a good drink. They come in for the drinks, and they stay for the goofy.
Yeah. They don't tip us either.
No, they don't tip. They never tip. They never even get just the tip.
Okay.
What?
Come on.
It's a Lacey promo.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, what'd I say? Too soon? Let's see. Splinter Fox says the only person who's going to retire Triple H is one of Triple H's creations. Kevin Owens is one. He's like the first one. Anyways.
He handed KO the Universal title.
Yeah, and then KO beat up Vince McMahon and Shane McMahon trying to get them out of the way for Triple H to take more control over the business. The story writes itself. So, let me see. I'm excited about that. I do think that somehow Seth's going to end up in this WrestleMania storyline and going to end up with Roman somehow or another. I don't know how we get there, though. Let's see. Bayley defeated Liv Morgan. Billie Kay came out and did a bunch of stuff. I mean, it was a good match. I don't know.
I didn't like the job of Ruby throwing the 8x10s in the ring on accident.
Yeah.
That was like, come on, guys. You couldn't practice that a little bit? Like, unless you think Ruby's going to turn on Liv because she's jealous.
Maybe. I mean, it would be something. Right now, I mean, Ruby and Liv are just... Man,
There.
they're just there, and they're just losing, and I don't understand the purpose of this. And they're getting to the point now where even if Ruby and Liv do turn on each other and they do have matches, how am I supposed to care then? It's gonna feel like when Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins broke up. You're like, so? You know what I mean? Or when Mojo and Zack Ryder broke up. Zack Ryder's been a jobber with everyone, man. And when they lose and then they fight with each other, you go, okay, there's a job team getting mad at each other and fighting a job match. It just doesn't feel that well. You know what I mean? It doesn't come off like, oh, this is an important feud. You just go, oh, a couple of people who lose a lot are now mad and fighting each other. Okay.
Yeah, it's like when you watch, any sport and the toilet bowl happens where the two worst teams are playing. It's like, I can care less. Nothing. Neither of them have anything to gain.
Yeah. What's gonna happen? You're gonna get back up to. Do you want to just job by yourself now? Like, I don't understand.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It just feels like I don't know what the fuck's happening with Liv and Ruby anymore. The fact that Liv had a match right here that was a singles match and she came out to Ruby Riot's music again, that really bothered me. They went through so much trouble giving Liv her own music and giving her own identity and building her up to be a strong single star. Paired her back up with Ruby when they were both strong enough to be to be seen as individuals, and now they've completely devolved back into just the Riot Squad of 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And that just doesn't it's such a bummer, dude. It's such a bummer because I liked them so much. I cared so much about their story. And at this point, I just feel like, why should I?
Yeah. Yeah. We discussed it several times where they got us behind them. And just to take all in their sales for no reason, it seems like. And like you said, why should we care about them?
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. Kiro's asking in the chat, we're going to talk about TakeOver in depth on Thursday's show. We mentioned it briefly at the top of the show, but we're not going to be digging into it. So there's that.
Mr.
Now
Knight.
everyone's jobbing for Bailey, which is fine by me. I wonder. I don't know how we get Bailey to Mania right now because I've been wondering about that. And I thought if they had a women's elimination chamber match, then you could get a story going where you could. But it doesn't seem like the SmackDown Women's Champion's doing anything for elimination chamber.
But Bailey's gonna pull a John Cena. Even if she has to buy a ticket, she will be at Mania.
That'd be so good, dude, if she was just sitting in like the Thunderdome.
Front row by herself.
Yeah.
Holding up signs, booing and cheering. It's so good.
Just talking mad shit. Still talking shit to Michael Cole as he's doing commentary, just close enough to hear him so she can still yell at him. The mic barely picks it up. It'd be so good, man. Let's see. The only other thing that happened on SmackDown was the Sasha and Bianca segment. Dude, this was such a disappointment to me. The whole thing was built around Nia Jax and playing that clip again. Like, they went out of their way to make sure they could show this stupid clip where Nia talks about her hole being hurt. And there was no storyline movement at all. And then you had Bianca and Sasha teaming up to beat up on Nia and Shayna for fucking what reason? Like, it didn't make any sense to me. The whole thing seemed pointless.
I was nervous for a while there that it was for the championship, the tag championship. And I would have been pissed if they got it. And once again, the champions, there's a 2-belt champion with the women's tag team. Like, that shit's just annoying the crap out of me right now.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%.
But it was pointless. It just, I think it was because of Twitter blew up on Nia's hole, and they needed to keep bringing it up.
Yeah, I think so too. The whole thing got like a bunch of steam online, and so like, oh, let's milk it. But like, I didn't give a shit about it when it happened. I didn't think it was funny or cool then. I didn't like any of the memes almost at all. It was
Snow White one was pretty good.
The Snow White one was decent. That one was
It
decent.
made me laugh.
I was like, I like the amount of work that they put into it. But all the other ones, I was like, okay, like none of them, I didn't like any of them. Like, so the fact that they squeezed in a segment here to make sure that they were able to play that clip, but not even move any storyline. This was just like a forced segment just for that sake. And then they did it again on Raw. And it's like, fuck, guys, drop it. It's not that interesting. They think in the chat, Aaron and Kuro think that it's the new Titus O'Neil slipping when he went under the ring for the Rumble, remember?
But see, to me, that was Titus fell, and that was 100% accident. You can tell it was 100% accident.
Yeah.
I think Nia went out there to try and, hey, I'm gonna lose this match, yet I want people talking about me. So that's why she screamed the way she did. You know, how many, not on the apron, the hardest part of the ring, but for her to scream like that, and then she wanted, to me, it was, just my perspective. She just was being selfish, and she wanted it about her.
Yeah.
I'm gonna lose this match to Lana, but I want people talking about me. And she's treated clearly.
Yeah, 100%. It felt forced and transparent at the time. Yeah, I felt the same way. That's why I was kind of like. That's why I didn't give a shit about it. I was like, oh, okay. Like, yeah, not interested. So the fact they keep trying to make a thing out of it, not into that either.
Were you
ready to
buying
talk about Raw?
my whole shirt?
No.
Nope. Yeah, let's go to Raw. So we can talk about Nia's hole more.
Yep, that's where it showed up again. Aaron speculates that my hole is the most Vince McMahon moment of the year.
I can see it so far. We're still
maybe.
only in February.
Well, I mean, the pregnancy is going to be a hard one to beat. Let's see. Okay, so Raw opened up with Miz TV. Miz comes out.
Yes.
He brings out Drew McIntyre. They're
Boo.
talking. Dude, Drew McIntyre is a fucking heel, and I do not understand people who don't see that.
We've said it 100 times on this show.
Yeah. He's the best heel they have on Raw, and he's
Yeah.
definitely a heel.
Not the best, but he's up there.
Oh, that's funny. Kira thinks that Pritchard probably thought it was hysterical more so than Vince. But either way. So, yeah. So he comes out. Drew McIntyre is a total prick. I get it that they were trying to make it seem like Miz was being an asshole by calling him Andy. It didn't bother me. But I get it.
Yeah.
But if calling him by the name he doesn't want to be called is the only heel thing you do in a whole segment, then it's really hard for me to be like, yep, he's the asshole here. Because the other thing is Drew McIntyre literally starts screaming at Miz and then says, interrupt me one more time and you're going to regret it. He starts going off on his own stupid thing that doesn't make sense. And Miz interrupts him, and so fucking Drew headbutts him. We've talked about this a number of times. Drew McIntyre interrupts people every single promo. Anytime someone's in the ring with him with a mic, he will interrupt them. And we've noticed this and made note of it because it's one of the things that annoy me the most is when people can't get their point across. And the fact that Drew's more interested in getting himself over, that he's willing to shit on you in your promo to make sure he can make his bad jokes. And a lot of times it's been bad jokes. Even when Heath Slater was out there, like when he came out just strictly to do the job for Drew on his way out because Drew had to have that moment, he was interrupting him too in that heartfelt moment in that promo. Drew interrupts everybody on these. So for him to be like, interrupt me one time and you'll regret it. Fuck you, dude. He's a goddamn egomaniac.
Yes. The only thing I would have wanted is I would have wanted Miz to do his old, when my hand goes up, your mouth goes shut, or whatever he says. And then when he starts that, Drew headbutts him. Then I would have been like, okay, that could be some face stuff because no one likes Miz doing that.
Yeah. No one likes Miz doing that. That would have been a face move to a degree, but for him to threaten Miz at the potential of being interrupted when Drew has literally never let someone finish a sentence. Watch Drew promos. Go back and watch any of them. I don't care which one.
I don't want
Drew
to.
promo.
I don't want to.
No, not you. Anybody who thinks
that
what I'm saying is wrong, go find any promo with him and someone else in the ring. Anytime he was talking to Keith Lee, anytime he was talking to Sheamus, anytime he was talking with Randy Orton, anybody.
Yeah.
Anytime someone is out there with a mic, that person's talking, you will hear Drew's voice before that person is done talking at all. And it's usually not like because he's got to get his promo in there. It's usually because he's trying to pick up the mic and make a stupid joke. because he thinks what he has to say is more important than what anybody else has to say, regardless of the content or the story being told. It was on my head, so I said it. Aaron says Drew should be booked like Psycho Sid. Yeah, he is Psycho. The dude's an egomaniac, and it's so obvious. It's so obvious in the way that he's doing his promos and the way that he wrestles. That's not to say he's not good or there's no talent or anything like that. The character is a dick. I don't understand how people think that this is babyface stuff.
I don't get it.
I don't get it, dude. And then Splinter Fox is gonna say he's going on lurk mode. Can't hear about the 5-foot Disney woman, baby. That's funny. Let's see, dude. We'll get to his wrestling in a bit. But this whole promo made Drew McIntyre look like a whiny egomaniac, and I was like, okay, he's a heel. Boo. Miz actually made sense in this, and I don't like Miz, but I was like, well, Miz is saying makes sense.
I know. I can just see you watching it and Miz making sense. You're like, God damn it.
Yeah, like
Pisses me off.
Well, I mean, he makes a point. Makes a good point. Let's see some other notes I had on Raw. Which, by the way, Raw was not a bad episode. This was an easy one to get through, which is not always the case. I don't think this one kind of went by. Let's see. Bad Bunny was flirting with Mandy Rose. Actually, Mandy was like flirting with Bad Bunny, which was kind of fun.
Yeah. Where's Otis?
Got something? Oh. Kuro's saying, Marsh, he's a heel. You're not supposed to like The Miz. Yeah, that's not my point. I started liking The Miz here, and I definitely didn't like Drew. Drew's a good heel.
Andrew.
Yeah, Andy McInfart. Yeah, I don't know where Otis is at, but Mandy was definitely talking with Bad Bunny and getting real chummy, and she's like, "Hey, look at my shirt. It's all cut up.
I got one of your shirts on.
I got your shirt on here. Just check it out. I'm shorter than you. Look down at my shirt, please." And then she walks away, and Bad Bunny watches her walk away. That was funny. And she was, you know what was funny about it though? Mandy, and I don't know if this is just intentional because of the amount of meet and greet she's done. She came off like a meet and greet person who just wanted to say their 2 or 3 things real quick. I just wanted to say this. I want to say this. Oh, that's good. Oh, that's good. I like that. Okay. Oh, good luck for this. Oh, and I wanted to say this one thing. If you watch the meet and greet videos, that's what they're like. It's like, oh, I want to say this. Oh, time's running out. You know what I mean? I don't know if she's just done so many that she's like, I should do it like a fan does. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, she was playing the fan. But
yeah, can you? I like how she asked, "Can you get one of these for my friend Dana Brooke?"
Yeah. So good. So good. I know she. But what's funny too is because she's got it, and she goes, "I wanted to show you that I'm wearing this shirt." She's like, "Can you get one for my friend Dana?" Well, how'd you get yours?
Yeah, exactly. It would have been funny if Bad Bunny just like, yeah, there's a big box of them right back there that you grabbed that one from.
Actually, they've shown them sometimes because they showed them with the Sami Zayn bit. There's kind of a small concessions, like a merch table in the back for the talent that is crates that are open up with the shirts there on display, so you can just go grab one that's in your size and walk away.
Nice.
They even have like the replica titles and stuff there too. Like, it's crazy. They got like everything back there. We went on the tour for Raw. I was like, I fucking knew it. I knew it. So Bad Bunny's there. He's doing a thing, and then you hear Damian Priest come over. Damian Priest looking like a rock star, dude, and the way he's hanging with Bad Bunny,
so good.
This is so good. So all of a sudden they're interviewing him. Commotion happens. We turn over there. Akira Tozawa just won the 24/7 title off of R-Truth. Tozawa bumps into Damian Priest. Damian Priest murders Tozawa because Tozawa is the Kenny of Raw. And then he's like, starts fucking telling Bad Bunny, Dale, hurry up, go.
Yeah, yeah.
I love that Bad Bunny was shuffling, and then he grabs him, hooks the leg, and leans back real hard like he's trying to make sure he's pinned, and even looks over his shoulder down at the guy like, is he down? Like, He went all in with that pin, dude. This wasn't like a lot of the celebrities who do it, and they just go, I'll just lay on top of the guy. This dude was hooking the leg, pulling back. Yeah. I loved it. I was like, fuck yes.
The only thing that would have made it better if Bad Bunny put his elbow on Cesaro's like chin. And just kind of held him down. yeah.
That forearm grind. Ugh.
Yeah.
That heel shit.
Rubs it in there. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, who was it? Was it Briscoe or someone who did a pin just by putting their foot on top of a guy? Like, some of the guys are just like, I'm not even doing it. Like, you know? Yeah. I get it. But I just like that Bad Bunny went in. He hooked the leg deep.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, and we talked about it last show, and I was like, I don't know about Bad Bunny, this and that. And once you're like, hey, he's a fan, he's, you know, he's invested. Like, it definitely, I was like, all right, cool. Like, this is, I'm okay with it now. Like, before I was like, no, stop it. But now I'm like, I'm invested in it. I'm like, cool with it. And then, you know, we all said that he's going to win the 24/7 title sooner or later. He won it, and perfect time right before he goes on SNL. That NBC Universal contract where the 24/7 title is now going to be on SNL.
Yep, that NBC paying off.
Do you think he loses it on SNL?
Yes.
Dude, it'd be so good.
I think it's going to be
what about like Will Ferrell making it? Yeah, I was going to say Will Ferrell comes back, makes a cameo, wins it.
No, I don't want that. So I said Kenan Thompson, and Sam Roberts quote tweeted me and said, no, Kyle Mooney or we riot. I'm not sure, but I would not be surprised to find out Kyle Mooney is a huge wrestling fan. And if that's the case, I would love it if Kyle Mooney took that title and ran away with it.
Well, even like, especially, you know, just trying to get like more people in it. Like Pete Davidson's a huge star out there.
Yeah.
Like that'd be good.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think there's a lot of cool people.
Like, yeah, if it goes back and forth between a couple castmates, like I'd be okay with that too. Like it'd be so great. I'll tell you.
Imagine a few people take it off Bad Bunny between his first song and his last song, and after his last song or during the credits as they roll, Bad Bunny like spears a motherfucker and gets the title back and runs off. And then he comes back to Raw with the title, and they're like, "Oh, you didn't lose it." And he's like, "No, I had it the whole time." You know?
Yeah.
I think it'd be great if he lost it several
so
dude, it'd be so good. So good. And I love it. And so that too.
I just hope.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I just hope Truth wins SNL.
You hope what?
That R-Truth doesn't win it on SNL.
You don't want R-Truth on SNL?
I mean, I want him on there, but I would prefer, you know, obviously you're not going to put your big names out there, but, you know, just, I don't want Truth coming back to Raw with it. Unless Bad Bunny wins it back from Truth. How great would it be also? Because a lot of times, Super Bowl champions make appearances on NL if Gronk is again.
If Gronk just shows up, I'll like, wait a fucking second. I do like Truth was down on the ground when that all happened, and Truth screams out, DP, to Damian Priest, which is I think a Charlie Caruso thing. But he said, hey, DP and Bunny, take care of my baby and tell Lauren to start returning my phone calls. I laughed.
Yeah.
It's like, this was a good segment. This was a perfect segment in the back. I loved it, man.
Yeah. And it's the first time we've talked about the 24/7 title doing something in a while.
That's a good point. I should have brought the 24/7 title out. I still got that somewhere.
Yeah.
I haven't even had it because nothing's been happening about it. I didn't even think about it. Well, we'll see if he comes back with it. This right now is some good stuff.
That's when you were sleeping, producer counted.
Yeah, you just like hold it up. You make, you mean this? And take off running. Fuck.
This thing.
So good. But
she pulled a Bailey and put on one of your ref shirts. Sorry.
Yeah. But in the beginning segment that we didn't mention was Miz said that he was going to pull himself out of the Elimination Chamber match. He wasn't going to be in it anymore. He doesn't need it. He goes over. He ends up talking to Adam Pearce saying, hey, put John Morrison in my spot. And then that brings us around to this next segment where Kofi had a promo with Adam Pearce, Xavier Woods, and Miz. Dude, this segment too, this backstage thing was so good.
Yes.
Kofi was on fire, man.
Yeah.
What?
The only thing that got me a little bit is how close he was to Adam Pearce when he was gyrating his hips, saying I was a WWE champion. Kind of reminded me of you in high school.
Oh yeah, yeah, that was
a little too close to that leg there.
Yeah, he was getting close. But I just thought it was awesome, dude. They were so funny. I like the. I mean, even Miz set himself up perfectly for these. And I like Miz in this whole spot too, where he's like, the sequels are never as good with the Kofi dude.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, we know. We saw Marine 4 and 5 and 6. And it was so funny. And Miz gets all mad. And like as he's running away, he's all like, you don't even need the money, Miz. You got that Miz and Mrs. money.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cannonball, yeah. But yeah, I just thought this was so good, so perfect. Everyone here, this is exactly what I think of when you talked about how wrestling's supposed to be one take, and to what a good promo really is and what a really good promo looks like. This is it right here. Here's the people going back and forth, not stuttering, not stumbling, not taking away the star power from any other person, talking shit, building up the idea for wanting to see a match and really showing their own personalities in there. I thought it was so good. But it did lead to Kofi versus Miz. What do you think about all that?
I don't know. I thought it was a little weird that, Miz really wanted Morrison in the match, and it was Miz versus Kofi to put Morrison in the match. Yeah. I don't know why Morrison wasn't there, because, to me it was kind of obvious that, who the winner was going to be, because how would you have Miz win and then be like, okay, somebody else is in the match? But that's the only thing that kind of got me. But the backstage stuff was great. Loved it. It was, it was good. I'm glad Kofi won.
Yeah.
It feels like he needs to be in there.
Yeah.
But then, I don't know. I feel bad for Xavier. Everyone just keeps leaving him behind.
I know something's gonna happen with Xavier, I think, but I don't know what that move's gonna be and what it's gonna look like. Let me see. Oh, we also had a Riddle and Lucha House Party against the Hurt Business. That was all fine. I don't think there's anything spectacular in there.
Yeah, it was. It came, it went. I was okay with it.
Yeah, none of it bothered me. Bobby came out and did some cool shit and left, but let's see. All right, well, I guess there's only a couple more things here. The Sheamus promo I thought was awesome in the back. Sheamus, I think, is doing so good right now, too. I don't see any reason why this guy can't be in main event stuff right now. I don't.
Yeah.
I think Sheamus is awesome. Not much to say about it, though. So let's talk about this. We got Lacey Evans and Peyton Royce against Charlotte and Asuka. And the whole story here is that Lacey wouldn't get in the match. Charlotte kept saying, I'm going to kick your ass and stuff, and eventually chases Lacey away, where she reveals that she's pregnant. Lacey says, I'm pregnant. Ric Flair looks at her and goes, woo, woo, and starts slapping his things and strutting. And he's all like, oh, and he goes, call me daddy, woo. And I was all like, oh. Rewatching it too on the way out, Lacey's saying stuff where she's like, I've been spending a lot of time with Rick and we've had some deep conversations. And I was like, oh, why? So Lacey Evans is pregnant with Flair's Space Mountain baby. Kev, what do you think?
I don't know what to think, truthfully.
Like, as soon as it happened, I thought, I can't defend this or argue it anymore. There's been a lot of times I've been like, well, here's what's a good side of it and this and that. And I was like, I can't.
Yeah. see, to me, it's one of those things that, as of right now, it's gonna be like a hindsight moment where if this is real, okay, cool. They had a, you know, I guess a build up to get to this, even though I think it was unexpected. But if it's not, then why? Why are we keep building this Lacey Charlotte feud, especially when Asuka's just, you know, a side piece in all of this, and she's the women's champ.
Asuka, right? That's what you said.
Yeah.
Yeah, and here's my other thing: is people are saying online that Lacey is actually pregnant in real life. I haven't seen an announcement come from actual Lacey or actual WWE that wasn't done through their typical storytelling platforms. I haven't seen a notice. This isn't like when Becky was pregnant and WWE put out a notice saying Rebecca Quinn, known as Becky Lynch, is pregnant and we're stepping away from the ring. Yeah, congratulations to her and the father. You know what I mean? I didn't see anything like that. I didn't see Lacey say anything like that. I saw a few dirt sheets say this was a turn because she's actually pregnant. And I saw a few podcasts put out tweets being like, well, if the dirt sheet said it's true, then congratulations. And I saw Liv Morgan tweet, congratulations, Lacey. Yeah. But that's it, man. This is not the same fanfare that Becky was getting when she announced. I'm not seeing it the same way, which makes me wonder, is it storyline or is it real?
And she even tweeted on her own, "Woo! It's a wild ride, woo!" Like,
yeah. I mean, if they're trying to play the whole thing, I know what Meltzer said. That's really what we need to know. Meltzer would know. So I'll tell you, I'm not sold on the idea that she's actually pregnant. If she is, cool, congratulations. I don't think that makes me sold on the idea that this is the only way out of the story. So if she's not pregnant, then this is not good. If she is pregnant, I don't think I like it either. I mean, I don't dislike that she's pregnant. That's fine. Be pregnant, have a kid, do all that stuff. But from a story perspective, I don't think that it condones it either way. I don't think well, she's really pregnant, so it's great that they had Ric Flair be the dad. What? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like I said, to me, this is like, once we know the facts, like on Sunday, when we know, is Lacey going to wrestle? Yes. Cool. She's not pregnant. You know, we go from there. Is this just Lacey being a heel trying to get away from Charlotte, you know, for the time being? That's, you know, that's what she came up with. Fine. You know, but if she's not pregnant and they keep pushing that Rick is the father of this fake baby, yeah.
You know, if she's real pregnant and they keep pushing the fact that Rick is the father, there's been fucking Christ, how many episodes of Something to Wrestle with Conrad and Bruce do they say, yeah, that was in bad taste, we could have just cut it off there? Or how many times they even said, like, oh, we made a change because it turns out it was a little too close to home, we didn't like that. You know what I mean? Like, that's constantly a conversation they talk about. If she really is pregnant, is going on national TV and saying that she's pregnant with Ric Flair's kid to spite Charlotte the most tasteful way to go about that? Because if she really is pregnant, that kid's going to see it someday.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's lose-lose. I really don't like, I mean.
But at the same time, you know, Dominic turned out all right after the Who's Your Daddy pole match.
Well, yeah, because Ray won.
Yeah, but just saying.
If Ray had lost custody, it'd be a whole other story.
But
that was also different because also Dominic was already an existing person, and Ray and Eddie were already lifelong best friends. There's a lot more to that, I think. I don't know that Lacey and Charlotte even talk to each other. You know what I mean? I don't know if this is going to be like a funny thing where it's like, oh, yeah, Ric Flair's your dad. What? I don't
remember
know.
when my dad impregnated you on TV? Not on TV, but yeah, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But, yeah. But yeah, I just once the actual facts come in, like I'm so like confused about it, and it just I don't know, it's weird.
Yeah, Justin Time in the chat says this Lacey and Charlotte feud doesn't need to exist anymore. If this is to get sympathy for Charlotte, they aren't going to get anyone to feel bad for her. This does not make me feel bad for Charlotte at all. Yeah, Charlotte's the last person I'm thinking about in any of this at this point.
But see, and that's what kind of bothered me, and I was going to bring it up, is that Charlotte, when she was sitting there at the ropes, like it looked like she was trying to tear up, like she wanted to like be crying and be like, what the hell, Dad, type of thing. And I think it almost felt like sympathy for Charlotte.
No.
That's what they were kind of going for.
I didn't feel that at all. I wasn't even thinking about it.
I didn't feel about it, but I thought I think I saw it. Is what I'm trying to say.
Which is kind of weird when you think about the fact that Charlotte said before, oh, you don't think I haven't seen this a million times. So that also doesn't really work.
Yeah. Yeah, they wrote off the idea for sympathy pretty early on in this.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Lunar says the storyline sucks. I can't defend it at this point. There's no... And again, I think it's tasteless either way. It's not even where you go like... I mean, and I get what you're saying. If it turns out it's a heel move and she faked the pregnancy to get away from Charlotte, you can say, okay, I guess that's what happened there, but I'd still want to move along. If she's really pregnant, this is a tasteless way to do the announcement. This is a horrible way to try and play it through. If she's not pregnant, then the whole thing is even shittier because half the internet thinks it's real. It's like, fuck. I don't know, man. I really feel lose on this one. Go ahead.
But once again, this is what you want. You want people talking. Especially considering this is kind of a mid-card, thing here. Even though Lacey's going for the title, maybe on Sunday. You want people talking and about it. It's like you said, it just feels like I would be okay if Lacey was just trying to not fight Charlotte because of this, but if it turns out she is pregnant and she can't have a match on Sunday, A, who do you put up against Asuka? But B, why? Yeah. Unless they think this is their only out with, hey, Lacey can't compete anymore. She is pregnant, but, how do we get out of it? Oh, let's say Rick's the dad and we'll continue this after the baby's born, which would be ugh.
Yeah, I think also you can write it off where like she comes back after a year and they just say somewhere along the lines, oh, it wasn't actually Rick's. I never said it was Rick's. I just said I was pregnant and Rick just reacted that way. You know what I mean? Like you could always backpedal from there and be all like, yeah. I think it's possible. I also kind of feel that this is something that made somebody laugh in the back. That they're like, wouldn't it be funny if she said she's pregnant and Rick gets all excited and thinks it's his? God damn it. And they just, Fab Tina brings it up too. They just hired on a new lead creator. Yeah, there's a new lead writer, like head of the writing department even. It's a woman. I thought we'd see less of this kind of stuff, but here we are. Gio Lunar suspects he's got the answer. He says it's like WWE asked themselves if they could do something worse than Bobby and Lana, and then says, fuck yeah, we can. Well, maybe.
Hold my beer, watch this.
They're like, Bruce, when you were away, Paul Heyman did this whole Bobby and Lana thing, and we just think it might be the worst thing ever. And he goes, you think we can't get worse? Yeah, like you said.
Challenge accepted.
Yeah. I hope Vince and Bruce were both in the back during this spot, also strutting, going woo, and slapping their woo in the back. Yeah, I don't know, man.
I was just waiting for them to pump in the crowd noise of "You Still Got It" to Rick.
You still got it. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't I don't know. I guess we just see how it plays out. But to be honest, I don't know. I'm not a fan of it either way.
I mean, I guess they're consistent with the curring favor. That's the only thing I think.
They stay true to her character for sure. Let me see. Shayna Baszler defeated Lana. Well, dude, and this, man, Shayna Baszler had like a fucking 15-minute match with Lana.
Yeah.
She's getting better, but what happened to murder Shayna? Like, people used to get in the ring with her in NXT, and they would just chant, "She's gonna kill you."
Yeah.
Like, and then it was a short match, and it was like deadly. Like, we went from a legit threat who bit Becky's neck off when she shows up, destroyed the entire women's division in one Elimination Chamber match, to having a competitive matchup with Lana. What?
Yeah.
Because the other thing is, it's not like Lana's on a tear right now. And it's not like Lana's just barreling through the women's division and more vicious than she's ever been, and they're proving a point here. Lana cowers in every match that she's in. She won the Survivor Series match by standing and crying on the stairs.
Yeah. Because they didn't let her in the match.
Yeah. And then she beats Nia Jax because Nia hurts herself, wants to become a meme, and Lana runs and pushes her and runs away. She's a coward who's winning on accident and by happenstance, and she almost beat Shayna. What the fuck? Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, and that's what I was going to say, is that she's accidentally winning. You know, who was it? Wasn't it David Arquette that accidentally fell on, who was it, Hogan, and won the championship?
Yeah.
You know, it felt like that. Like, her whole run with this and her win streak, if you will, feels like she's, you know, right place, right time type of thing. And for her, like you said, to go toe-to-toe with Shayna, it's like she's not there. Like you said, she needs to be on a streak. She's steamrolling. It's like, holy shit, Lana's a legit competitor, and it still isn't that.
Yeah, this wasn't elevating Lana. This was bringing Shayna down. That's what bothered me about it, man. But I guess we'll move. I mean, and the thing is the Lana story is a good story, and I like that the Lana stuff is happening. I don't know why this match had to happen in all of it. You know what I mean? This one they could have skipped. Like, I like that Lana's getting these wins over Nia on accident or whatever. I do like that Lana's getting her revenge on the whole thing. I like that. It's a good Lana story.
Mm-hmm.
Shayna doesn't need to be wrapped up in that. Shayna doesn't need to be competitive with Lana. It doesn't help Shayna. And Shayna beating Lana after 10 minutes is not... It's not doing anything for Shayna. No one's all like, did you see Shayna win the other night?
And also, how do you feel about the chemistry between Lana and Naomi?
It's interesting. I mean, I think they're actually friends, so there's a form of chemistry, but...
I do too, but to me, even with their whole, you know, walk out and do the whole little routine dance thing, like two people doing TikTok, it seems like one person knows what they're doing, the other one's saying, hey, do it with me. And to me, Lana seemed like a step behind. And then they're walking, and Lana accidentally touched, to me, it looked like Lana accidentally touched Naomi's hand, and then Naomi held her hand and was like, all right, let's go, you know, we're friends. And then Lana was almost like, just held her hand in place. Like, I don't know why she's holding my hand. Like, she didn't like grasp it. It felt like Naomi like all in on this, and Lana's like, I don't know what to do. Unsure. And maybe it's just me looking at things, and like it just felt like awkward to me.
And maybe Lana was just trying to play up the being scared kind of a deal. Maybe she was playing it up where she's in a match with Shayna and she's been kind of cowarding the whole time about it, you know?
Yeah.
So that could be. I guess we'll see how it plays out. I'm not against Naomi and Lana. I do think they probably will have decent chemistry as a team. We've only seen them really team once or twice, so I'm not against it. I'm not against giving it time. We'll see how it plays out, but we'll take note of what you said, see if it's true the next time. Let's see. Alexa Bliss interrupt the Randy Orton promo. He's like, the 3 most dangerous letters are, okay, this message brought to you by the NWO.
I think the 3 most dangerous words are "let me in."
Yeah.
Da-na-na-na-na.
Yep. Hell yeah. Dude, I wish Klump was here for this one because this satanic ritual had me feeling things.
Yeah. I
think
love how
I'm, I think I'm into S&M
they
now.
showed the sign. Oh, I thought you've always been. I like how they show the sign where it says, ye abandon hope and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then, she's sitting there with candles around her and it's like, oh shit. Then the candles go out and it's like, okay. They keep teasing the Fiend's return. And obviously it didn't happen, but it was great.
I like the way that she held the ashes in her hand and blew it like the way she used to do the glitter in NXT. Because she used to come out with a handful of glitter and she'd open up her hand and get the glitter to go everywhere. And she did that with ashes this time. I was like, shit. They're digging deep on this one. This is crazy.
The
and it was
throwback,
nuts. Yeah. And to have a fucking pentagram seance happening on Raw? I was like, what? I don't know, man. It was nuts. It was terrifying. She did such a good job with this.
Underground.
What?
It was Raw Underground.
It was the real Raw
It was the
Underground,
third
Raw
hour.
Dungeon. Yeah. It was crazy. It was really good, man. I don't know. Do you think? How long do you think they make us wait before Bray makes an appearance at this point? Do you think he shows up at Elimination Chamber, or do you think that they wait? He's got to show up at the Chamber, right?
I don't think so. I think Alexa. I think Alexa might cause Randy, to lose in the Elimination Chamber again, and I think he might show up at Fastlane, and then have a Bray and Randy match at Mania.
I could see that. I wonder if they'll have. So I think I see that, but I also potentially. Oh, okay. You could do this both ways. We could both win. If the Fiend and or Alexa eliminate Randy by simply making him disappear, so he never actually technically gets eliminated, but he's definitely not in the match anymore. You know what I mean? Because Randy Orton's also so good, he doesn't need to be going into these matches and losing this way. I think you could have like a thing with the lights and stuff, and either Alexa shows up in the ring and she's got Randy Orton in a Sister Abigail type pose, and then the lights go out and they're both gone, or even the new Crazy Bray,
Or even Alexa wearing the Fiend mask. So you think it's the Fiend at first, like behind the guardrail or something, and you're like, oh shit, there he is. And then, it's Alexa or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess you would tell by the
But
height.
I'm intrigued.
Or the hair. The hair would.
But if you put him behind, or put her behind the. Well, she has a wig on.
All right. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how much longer you make us wait for the Fiend, though, because you got to have the Fiend in Mania, I think, right?
I don't know. I kind of have a guess. I think that, I would hope that they just maybe gave Bray an open time slot of like, hey, you take as much time as you need after, his best friend passing.
Yeah, I don't understand contracts. I'm not fantasy booking somebody's personal grievances. I don't know, maybe. I do think that he can be gone as long as he wants. I'm not saying
What about this? Hold on.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead. And then I'll throw my what I think would be cool.
I mean, obviously from like a personal standpoint, yeah, if he wants time away, then give him time away. I'm not suggesting, hey, they got to force him back. I'm just fantasy booking the idea of this character that they're keeping alive one way or the other. How long do you, from a storyline standpoint, regardless of other things, do you want to keep someone away from it? The personal stuff I don't think of as a personal factor in the way I go, I want to see the Fiend. I mean, I think there's a time and place for that too. I don't think fantasy booking is the time to say that necessarily. Because obviously, if he doesn't show up and go, what the hell? And they go, oh, yeah, he wanted more time to grieve. You go, oh, okay. That makes sense. You know what I mean? But to go like, oh, where are we going to the story? That's all. That's all I'm saying about it. Kev, what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, how cool would it be if Randy Orton's in his pod, Elimination Chamber, countdown, who's it gonna be? It goes on him, the late do it. It all of a sudden cuts out, does the air theme thing, it's out. And when the lights come back on, the pod door is all like smoky and black, and he's gone. So he never, like you said, never even enters the match.
Or like you see the Fiend standing behind him in the pod right before the lights go out or some shit. Something. Yeah, you could definitely do something
even
like
that. Like a reflection.
Yeah.
Was that the Fiend? Was it not?
Or even if they're doing the pod and as the camera goes over to it, "Let me in" is written crazy on the pod. And you just see Randy like, what the fuck? And then like
looks like
said,
it's all
just
in blood.
blacks. Yeah, you could do some crazy shit like that. Oh man. Well, let's talk about this gauntlet match, man. I don't got a lot to say about it other than I'm glad that Sheamus won. I'm gonna say this though. Drew wrestled like a heel in this, and this is what I mean by that. Drew was pulling people's hair. He was pulling on AJ's hair. When AJ got towards the ropes, McIntyre knocked him out of the ring, and then when AJ tried to get back in, he fucking ran and claymored him out of the ring again, like he's keeping him out of the ring. He was not wrestling like someone who wants to do this fair and square in the middle of the ring. He wasn't. That was a heel thing to do. I'm hoping you get counted out. I want the count out victory. That's a heel move. He wasn't trying to fight fair and square.
Yeah.
He was trying to get a cheap win. He was pulling hair. Go ahead.
I was going to say he did the same thing with Randy, further down in the gauntlet where Randy got counted out. Randy goes to get in and he claymores him outside.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was not trying to win fair and square. He was cheating to win. He was trying to get any win he could. That's what a heel does. He also was fighting as the dominant person. And in the wrestling psychology side of things, the babyface has to overcome something for you to get behind him. You start cheering someone who's losing because you need them to start winning. He was beating the shit out of everybody. So everyone was fighting from underneath to him. So you started to rally behind everyone but him. This was like the opposite of Kofi in the gauntlet match. This was a guy who was winning dominantly the whole time, and we were supposed to start getting behind him, being like, oh, I really hope he pulls this off. No, I really hope someone knocks him down. This dude's playing King of the Mountain out there. Go ahead. Tell me.
I was feeling the opposite. Because to me, when, if we're going to jump to the end real quick, when Sheamus won, I was so disappointed because then I feel Drew's going to win on Sunday. Yeah. Where I think if Drew would have won and be like, hey, I'm coming in last, okay, one of these other guys got a chance. Where Sheamus winning, I'm like, God, like, now in, their eyes, if you will, Drew's now the underdog because he's not coming in last. So here's his face spot.
Yeah, but the only thing I think is that this is an opportunity where you can actually have Drew McIntyre lose the title in a way that they think won't weaken Drew McIntyre, right? Because if he's got to be in the match this whole time and getting weakened by more and more people, the odds become more difficult. So yes, if he wins, then he's like the underdog, sort of. But at the same time, if he loses, he doesn't look worse off for losing because he had insurmountable odds. You know what I mean? And I think that if Drew won and he came in last, then he has to win the match. There wouldn't even be a question if someone else could win because it goes, well, a fresh Drew while everyone else is beat up, the guy's overpowered as fuck. So the only way you can take away some of his power is to at least make him go in there early. I think by having Sheamus win here, you showed that there's a possibility that a weakened Drew might not be able to fend off a fresh Sheamus.
Yeah.
I think it creates, although, I mean, it's the typical wrestling booking where if you go down before the show, then you're winning at the show. This is one where I go, I don't know, although they could do that, because they can say, look how great Drew is. He won after all of that. You can easily make the argument that it took 6 men beating the shit out of Drew to give Sheamus the opportunity to win, but it's all Sheamus needed because he is that good. You could have Sheamus take the title there, and you could end up building towards a Sheamus-Drew rematch. Or you could even have the thing going on, and at the end of it, you could have Miz come in, cash in, and walk out with a title, and nobody wins it. Then you have a Fastlane to decide it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, maybe you have Sheamus win at Fastlane, and then you have Drew and Sheamus at Mania. I think we're getting to a Sheamus and Drew Mania. I think is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And if you have Sheamus go in there with the title and have Drew try to get his big win back against the one guy who could beat him besides Randy, because at this point the only people who've ever pinned Drew, Sheamus and Randy.
Yeah.
You know, let's see in the chat a little bit. Tina's saying, I think that they want McIntyre to have real crowds. I wouldn't be shocked if they wait until live crowds are back, which is going to be Mania. His documentary, he was kind of bitching about winning during the pandemic, not as he expected in terms of audience reactions. Yeah, that's just it too. He's got a heel fucking story there too. Dude, dude, he also, did you see that book is finally out? This is some heel shit, dude. He wrote a book. He was champion a year, and he wrote a book about being champion. And it has something, it's called like Choosing My Destiny or some shit. And then he posts a picture of him reading his own book about being a champion. That is some heel shit, dude. He wins a title within a year, writes a book about how good he is as a champion, releases it, and then takes pictures of him. He's like, just giving it another read before it hits the press tomorrow. What?
It's already printed if it's hitting the press tomorrow.
Well, before it hits the shelves.
Well,
okay. Like, it's hitting the shelves. I'm giving it one more read. How many times have you read your own book about you being champion, you egotistical fuck?
Yeah.
It's not babyface shit, man. To write a book about being a champion when it's your first championship and you've been less than a year. Christ's sake.
Has anyone done that?
No! No one's written a book about being a champion while they're the champion. That's a heel fucking move. I'm sorry. He just pisses me off, man.
And that's what good heels are supposed to do.
I know. Yeah. Well, now that I'm the champion, I ought to write a book about being the champion. What? You want to see if you're good at it yet? Like, imagine if Seth Rollins wrote a book about being Universal Champion 6 months into his title reign. I wish Brock
right
did
after
shit.
he call it heist of the century right after he took it from Roman and Brock.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Heist of the century. I'm a champion now. Oh my God, dude. I don't know. It's heel shit. It's super heel shit. And I don't understand anyone who says he's a babyface champion. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah. And
but
real quick, just going back to the gauntlet, I was in it with AJ and Kofi. I was like, this is cool. And then Kofi got eliminated, and it was, who was next? Was it Drew next?
I think so.
Did Drew come in 3? Yeah. Whenever Drew came in is when I lost interest in it. Yeah. I was like, here we go. And I really wasn't invested the rest of the gauntlet match, except for the end when I was like I said, in my eyes, I wanted Drew to win just because I don't want him to win on Sunday.
Yeah, but I think that would have made him too overpowered.
Yeah.
I liked the Alexa stuff in the match with Randy, where all the Alexa showed up
great.
It was nuts, dude.
Dude, it looks so good with all the screens and it was nice.
Yeah, that was dope. It was super dope. But yeah, this is the go home show before Elimination Chamber. It's definitely made me more interested in the Elimination Chamber in that regard. I really hope Sheamus wins it. I hope whatever happens here. Well, see, here's the deal, man. Oh, it'd be great if Sheamus wins the title. They get to Mania, and it's Drew versus Sheamus, and Sheamus does that whole thing he did with Daniel Bryan when Daniel Bryan won that title match, and just defeats Drew McIntyre in 8 seconds and moves on.
Be so good.
So good. Oh, yeah. You're amazing. Yeah. And Sheamus retains. Woo! I mean, I know the whole thing's to give Drew a win in front of a human, but I don't know. Man. I do want that for Sheamus. I think Sheamus has another good run in him, and I think he can put on a killer match. And I actually think that the idea of Sheamus and Drew having an honest match together could be fucking incredible if they don't try to play it off just like a Brock Lesnar match. Bro kick, spear, bro kick.
Yeah.
Bro kick, Claymore, bro kick.
Yeah.
And I don't think Sheamus is the type. I don't think he wants that. I don't think he wants to fucking fight. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, and to me, I was just, going back to the Elimination Chamber and thinking of Edge, who is he going to challenge? Because like I said before, is pretty much anyone in the Elimination Chamber match, I would rather see Edge face at Mania and Drew. Talking about it, and I think it'd be just great, is if Hardy won. And if Hardy versus Edge at Mania, their whole, TLC things and stuff like that, like, I think that'd be compelling, personally.
Dude, I would love it because the internet would fucking lose their shit, and I love that petty shit, dude. I would love it. I'd be like, all right, you guys don't like Goldberg? Well, we got the answer for you then. Oh, you think Goldberg versus Roman's bad? Hold my beer.
Hold my beer.
Edge versus Jeff Hardy. I love it. I love it because I think it would be an amazing match.
Goldberg,
I think it would be absolutely good.
Yeah.
But I think people would shit on it immediately, being like, "Oh, they buried the whole young talent." Blah blah blah. That's what the internet sounds like to me.
But these two could actually put on a match, unlike Goldberg.
Exactly. Which is why you and I would like it and be excited for it, but the internet would be like, "Bup, he's old. They're both old. They're oldies but goodies."
Well,
yes, Splinter's calling us old.
Yeah.
Especially with Tom Brady winning the Super Bowl again. Give it to the old guys.
Hell yeah, dude. Dude, why did people explain this to me before we wrap it up? People talked about Tom Brady winning as being like the good story of the whole thing, and that was the heartwarming story. Can you walk me through that a little bit? Because I'll be honest with you, Tom Brady's the heel. Like
he's supposed
the dude
to. Well, and
just...
that's the thing. But
okay,
I'll explain it the best way I can to you. Tom Brady and the Patriots were the evil empire. That'd be like if Darth Vader walked away from the dark side and was like, "I'm gonna do this a different way," and won.
So if Darth Vader left the Empire and joined the rebellion and
not
became Anakin
necessarily, but just joined a different side and was like, "Hold on," like that's the best way I can explain it to you. Like the thing, I don't know why they're saying heartwarming. The thing that I think that it's the greatest, and the whole greatest football player of all time debate, and to me, I think this solidifies it that it's definitely Brady.
Yes.
Is Brady has more championships than any NFL franchise.
Oh. I got you. So, like, not even a franchise.
Because all the other
has many
NFL franchises
he
are
has.
at 6. Yeah, because he won 6 in New England, and then he walked away and won a 7th one. And no franchise, not the Patriots, the Steelers, I think the Cowboys and 49ers are at 5. None of them have 7, but Tom Brady as a person does.
So here's...
I think that's fucking amazing.
No, that's good. And I'm saying he's the greatest of all time. I believe that. I agree with that. I do think this is where my pettiness comes into play. Because I love the petty. And the heartbreakers. Yeah. Here's the deal. As Tom Brady was with the Patriots...
That's terrible.
Whoa, hey. As Tom Brady was winning championship after championship with the Patriots, I had friends who were Patriot fans, and I would say to troll them that the whole team is just Tom Brady. That without Tom Brady, there is no Patriots. They're not good, and they would argue with me for endlessly saying that's not true. The fact that he's so good is good, but the team without him would be fine. That he is very good. However, you can slide another QB into there, and because the team is so good, they would still be going on and winning championships. This solidifies that they were full of shit all along.
I was gonna say you're an idiot because Tom Brady, like, and by no means am I a Tom Brady fan. I respect greatness, just Flair, just like everyone, Cena.
Yeah.
But to me, it was always Brady or Belichick. What made the system? Was it the head coach or was it the execution? And it was argued. Oh no, to me, I think neither at the time. Brady couldn't have done it without Belichick and vice versa. And excuse me. And for Tom to walk away, and don't get me wrong, Tom left and joined another good team. Tampa, was building a good defense, was missing basically a quarterback in my eyes. They added Tom, then they added Gronk. They got a couple more pieces here and there, and he did it. But like I said, just to me, the whole, if you view Tom Brady as a heel, what great heel move is it to, leave the franchise you were with, win another Super Bowl, and turn around and be like, oh, you don't think I'm the greatest? I have 7. No other franchise has 6. As, like, holy shit.
Yeah, and as he stacks more and more, he'll always have more than any franchise has ever gotten.
Yeah, because Tampa only had 1 before Brady. So, not saying Brady's going to play for another 6 years, but even if he plays for 6 or even 5 more years, and Tampa has the most Super Bowls out of any other franchise, Tom Brady still hands, like, oh gosh, it's crazy. Like,
I imagine Brady wants great. 2 more rings. I feel like he wants 2 more rings. I feel like that he wants to solidify it to say not only would a franchise have to do more, they'd have to do more for a bit. Because like right now, all Patriots need is 1 good year, and then they can at least tie him. I think he wants to be like, no, you need to build a new franchise to get close to how many rings I have. That's fucking crazy, dude. It's
and
wild.
Especially your friends, the idiots, because I'm clearly not in that group. But, you can put any quarterback in that situation. They added Cam Newton this year, who's a quarterback. He's lost a few steps, but they didn't even make the playoffs.
Exactly. That's my point, is this year proved that they were so wrong. That you literally removed Gronk and Tom Brady like a claw machine, dropped them somewhere else, and the Patriots fucking crumbled.
But it wasn't even Gronk.
Gronk was like all the touchdowns this match.
Last year. Yeah, but what I'm saying is that Gronk left the Patriots 2 years ago.
Yeah, okay.
Tom Brady left the Patriots last year. So, not even removing Gronk. Gronk wasn't even there last year.
Yeah. But he made all the touchdowns this year in the Super Bowl.
Not all of them, but he got a couple.
You got most of them. And he's the only former WWE champion to do so. So, future Hall of Famer, Gronk.
Yeah.
Splinter jumped back in the chat. He perked up.
Sorry.
He's all like, okay, enough of this. he's got a few things. He said Brady still ain't shit. 5 of them Super Bowls he got bailed out by kickers and defense. Plus he pulled a LeBron James and went to a super team.
And I agree. Like I said, I'm still pissed off because at the time I followed the Rams when they were in St. Louis, and Tom Brady and Bill Belichick filming the Rams practice beforehand, and then they said, oh wait, that's illegal, but they did it and they beat the Rams barely. Like, yeah, that's, like I said, they were the evil empire. Everyone was rooting against them, and like,
oh yeah, dude, that's why I also loved it the year that they was it the Chiefs they beat, where it was like, or no, it was like the Falcons or some shit, where it was like 56-0 at half, and then the Patriots came back and won.
Yeah, it was it 24-6 or 31-6? Yeah, and then the Patriots came back and won. But my favorite stat still.
Hit it.
Since we're on this, okay, real quick. My favorite stat still is being a U of A Wildcat fan for life. No quarterback in the history of the NFL that has played Tom Brady twice has beaten him twice, and one of them is Nick Foles, or the only one is Nick Foles. Excuse me, from U of A, but he beat him in the Super Bowl when he was with the Eagles, and then he beat him in some random Monday Night Football game when he was on the Bears. And I think that's Tom Brady's the GOAT, and Nick Foles is 2-0 against him. What's up?
Nice.
And neither time did Tom Brady shake his hand, because Tom Brady's kind of stuck-up piece of shit.
Dude, that's some Carmella shit. I beat Charlotte twice.
Yeah, exactly.
No, dude, I'm all in on that. And what I loved about when the Patriots did that turnaround that one year was that no one fucking understood it. You had people cheering and crying, saying, "I can't believe we did it," about the Patriots and stuff. And like, you guys are the bad guys. Like, how do you think that this is a feel-good story when the Patriots came back? Like, you're the bad guys.
Yeah, and you guys were supposed to win. Not many people were giving the Falcons a shot. The Patriots are going to win. Falcons started kicking their ass in the first half. And it was like, this shit's over. They're kicking their ass. And then they came back. First Super Bowl ever to go to overtime. Fuck.
Yeah. And then Spinner Fox says in the chat, bro, 20 of their starters didn't play. They opted out with the Patriots. So you can't say the Patriots didn't make the playoffs.
COVID,
they didn't even have their full roster.
True.
Well, they opted out.
True.
No, that counts, man. You guys didn't go because you guys didn't want to play. That counts. Quitters. Yeah. You guys weren't even going to try. Quitters. Not even there. That's it. You're done.
Yeah, all 20 of them. It wasn't because of COVID. It's because they got pregnant. By Ric Flair.
Woo! Call me Daddy Belichick. Woo!
Call me Daddy. Yeah.
And Spinner Fox says the ATL Super Bowl, Julian saved the day. If he didn't make the catch, it would not have happened. I believe you, Splinter. Guys, This is what this show's all about. Getting drunk, talking with your friends about wrestling, about evil empires.
And now football.
But it all comes back around because Gronk was there, future WWE Hall of Famer, former champion Gronk. Yeah. Big E came out and said Tom Brady got wobbly. We talked about why. It all comes back. Guys. Those quitters, wow, they didn't even know what was going on about a virus. They quit. Quitters. You know who didn't quit? You know who still shows up every week? Ric Flair. Woo!
Yeah.
Ric Flair ain't got no quit in him. Woo! Yeah, dummy.
Okay.
You know Ric Flair has his sperm? Shoes of a champion.
Mm-hmm.
Come on.
All right, sorry.
No one...
Sorry, it just squirted out of me. What?
All right, I'm gonna end this show now.
She's about to cut the mic. Guys,
mute you.
Thank you guys for coming through, having a drink, hanging out with your drinking buddies, talking to us about Raw, SmackDown, and all things Tom Brady, because that's what we are experts in here at Wrestling on the Rocks, our first show every week. Thank you guys. He says, I'm fighting with Cardinals fans. You're goddamn right you are.
Hell yeah. Bird gang.
That's how you know we make all the sense. Guys, thank you for coming through. We will be back on Thursday to talk all things wrestling on Wednesday. You can find us at WOTR The Show on Twitter, at Wrestling on the Rocks on Instagram. You can find me at Ref Marsh on Twitter, at MarshRef on Instagram. But you can find all that information on WrestlingOnTheRocks.com with all the contacts. Speaking of contact, Kev, how can people find you?
Facebook. Carrier pigeon.
I mean, you could try.
Find our Facebook because our Facebook page. Yeah.
Sorry. Kevlar on the Rocks with an X because CKS didn't fit.
It didn't fit. But you know what fit? Never mind.
Stop
if you do find us at Facebook. Woo!
Oh my god.
If you do find us on Facebook, Kevlar is actually the mod there, so he'll probably get the message there before he does on Twitter.
And I run the socials.
Maybe. We'll see. We'll find out. Guys, that's our show. It's last call. We'll see you soon. You don't got to go home, but you can't drink here. Cheers.
Cheers.
Hey, producer lady here. Thanks for tuning in. Continue to support us or buy us a drink by following and putting the I in subscribe on Twitch. Or subscribe and review our podcast on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen to us. Cheers!
I would never have a drink with wrestling on the rocks.